Going live,
And holy crap, we're live.
Going live on YouTube. Can you believe it, Stuart?
Yes, because I'm here now.
Oh.
It's amazing.
Amazing. We're back. Part 2 of Unknown. We had such a fun time last time. And it's funny, I included people in the thumbnail, none of which were asked for. So that shows a breadth of people I've only scratched the surface of.
It's true. It's true.
Because you can put in like small characters, big characters, variants of characters. What are we doing today, Stuart?
Well, it's part 2 of Viewer's Choice for sci-fi characters. We're going to rank them, put them in a tier list, to have a discussion about them. And yeah, last time went really well. A lot of people contributed and helped out with that and put in their suggestions. So we're going to continue that today. And yeah, hopefully we come up with a good way to entertain you, a good show.
Yeah.
Very good show.
In a mild sense, we're doing game shows these days, so in a mild sense. And not to blow and trumpet, but you know, obviously we all watch a lot of YouTube stream people, and it's so nice that we're so reactive to the super chats that it's like if you want to talk to us and be involved, you can. There's no like 30 minutes later. Oh, this thing, this. What was that about? Oh, I don't remember. It's like,
yeah. That's one of my pet peeves for sure.
yeah. So it's nice. I like having that, because if I was a fan watching us here, I'd be like, how can I mess with them? Or hi. This will be totally not at all mean. But yeah, we have about, what, 25, 30 currently in the batch. Hundreds left, no problem. You can submit anybody for the ranking, and what I like about this from last time is that as the ranking structure got filled up, we were forced to decide, well, it's not better than those people. You start to make these interesting decisions that why would we ever compare a Babylon 5 actor to a Terminator actor? But when you have to, I think interesting things come from that. So that's what I was finding.
Yeah, and as we did last time too, it's all about memorability, quotability. There's a lot to a character that contributes to this list. So plus all the different iterations. Sometimes sequels hurt the character.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot to consider when doing these. So, and we try to have those discussions, which we want you guys to be a part of. So, like, by all means, chime in the chat and let us know your thoughts. This is also, like I said, it's viewer led. You guys let us know which characters you want to see, and if you don't agree with where we place one, you can bump them up or down one tier with a $5 super chat. If you really feel passionately about one, you can do that. So consider that. This is a community listing, so. And there is a.
Yep. Oh. Through then. Yep.
I was gonna say there's a poll. Which was a better TV show, Stargate SG-1, Babylon 5, or Battlestar Galactica? Oof.
Those are 3 heavy hitters. Like, they're all winners, right? But the winneriest of winners.
Yeah. So, we're glad you guys are joining us today. 13 of you here, 9 likes. Let's try to get those likes up if we can. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so. Try to get 20 likes right off the hop here if we can. And yeah, we want you to participate. This is how this works. And sorry for the snoring pug, but this is just how things are.
Yeah, I'm going to start sharing.
Go for it. So yeah, like I said, hit the like button. Make sure you consider joining the channel. There's a join button down there. You can join on YouTube here, or head on over to Patreon/Trekyards. That's another way to join us and help us on a monthly basis and be part of the Discord and all the fun stuff. So if you can, please contribute in any way. Also share the content. Hitting like is the easiest way. It's free. Everyone can do that, but you can share the content with other people that you think might enjoy it. Yeah, be part of the lives. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. That's a good first start. And hit the bell notification icon to all so you don't miss any edited content or lives that we do, because we do a lot of them during the course of a week. And we want you guys to be a part of the community and hang out with us, because that's just what it's all about. Also, there are links down below to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. There's some really cool Trekyards merch down there. So consider taking a look at it and picking yourself up some stuff maybe. That would be awesome. And yeah, I am looking forward to hearing from you guys. So this is the way. We'll get into the super chats in a minute here, but yeah. Again, even if you can't contribute with a super chat, just taking part in the regular conversation in the chat is a great way to be part of the community and help us out. And we really appreciate all the stuff that you guys can do. So, yeah, you guys kind of make us go here. We are entertaining. You make us go. Maybe, I don't know. It's some kind of Pac-Lid thing. Insert that in there. Now, there has been no Star Trek people on the list so far, but that's because we talk about Star Trek pretty much all the time. This, we wanted to be more everything else. So everything else sci-fi. And there's a lot of great sci-fi franchises out there. So lots of ways that you guys can contribute, and a lot of curveballs you can throw us as far as characters go. Some of them we may know. Other ones we may know very well, or one of us may know very well, another one might not. So there's definitely lots to consider when talking about these characters. We want your insights, so this is important. All right, we're up to 15 likes. That's pretty good with 19 people here. I still want to get to 20. That's another 5 likes. So if you haven't hit like yet, please do so. We'd really appreciate it. I see Hawk Stringfellow is in the chat. There you go. He's a good character. You could even throw him in. You know, I'm just saying. Even though I don't know Airwolf well enough to really make a good call on that, because I watched Airwolf when I was very young, and you know, we'll from what we can remember, things like that. So, yeah. Anyway, Sam is back. Look at that.
All right, let's see who we've got. Okay, great. I'll start adding the new ones, or I get.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get the board up so people can see who we've got.
Yeah.
These new people. So yeah. Add away.
Yeah. We ended our conversation last time talking about Charles Xavier. I don't think we actually placed him, but
yeah, we just said he was a good team leader. Sort of actually, yeah, Optimus Prime. You know.
Yes.
Obviously a bit more fleshed out in that comic and not comic, but that's with every game's a different version, so that's not really comparable anyway.
Yeah, the comic cartoon, he was more of an action kind of guy. In the movies, not so much. And plus, with him being Patrick Stewart, all I can see is Picard when I see this character. But yeah, he didn't do a whole hell of a lot in the movies. I don't know. Perfect casting, honestly, for the role. So,
well, some of that's just there. Bald guy.
Yes.
Bald guy, good actor. That is part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thing is that the acting chops is excellent. What he was given was fine. Was in service of plot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got a gut reaction, but let me know what you think.
Well, my gut reaction is C for Charles. He's not very memorable in the movies to me. Like, he doesn't do a lot. Like, sure, he's memorable as being Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier, but if you take into account like the X-Men cartoon and the series and all that kind of stuff, it's a little bit of a different dynamic. So yeah, so C is my call. I don't know what yours was necessarily, but we can definitely try to place him in there.
I feel like this is definitely different if you're the sort that grew up with him in the cartoon and was like, that's my Xavier, but I don't think this is your Xavier. It's a great live action version. But my gut was also going to say a C, because I think the complexity of the character that I've been presented with is simple enough. There's not super many layers from the one that I'm most familiar with. And comparing some of B, I mean, the Master from Doctor Who, I mean, hundreds of hours more screen time conceptually, a lot more variety in performance. Certainly Yvonova is a more interesting character. Starbuck is certainly a better written character, right? Like, those characters are definitely better. And it's interesting because Saruman is equally like, whoa, but equally flat. So I think that's actually kind of a fair duonomy there. Cause it's like, yeah, amazing, but still in the pantheon of greats, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think C is good for him for now.
Unless you hate our answer, then of course move it.
These can be shuffled a bit if you guys feel the need, but so we got Ray Rex though.
Yes.
10 pounds. Dr. Sam Beckett and Admiral Al Calavisi. I forget how to pronounce it. Al from Quantum Leap. Yes. I'll just pull in Sam Beckett first. It's funny, I got Quantum Leap, the complete series, for my birthday.
Hey!
And
in the Blu-ray?
Me and Sylvia watched it like years ago. We're going to watch it again after we're done DS9, I think. Just, it's such a great show. And Sam Beckett, I mean, first of all, Scott Bakula is a fantastic actor, and that role demanded quite a bit because he had to play different characters, and it shows off his acting chops quite well. But the character, I mean, so determined to prove his point that he jumped into the machine himself to do the time traveling, not knowing what effects it would have, and then being trapped in time, and his desire to get home, even to the point where when he did jump into, I think, his brother or a younger version of himself, I can't remember, he wanted to kind of just call it there and stay there. Because you're clinging on to anything that you can in your attempts to get home. I think the character was done a little dirty at the end. I don't think the ending wasn't very satisfactory because he jumped and was never seen again. Where'd he go? To the future, maybe. I don't know.
Also, being able to jump, he never made it home. It's even more ambiguous than that. It's like he could have jumped from ever, could have jumped not forever.
Well, to jump it only in your own lifetime kind of bothered me. It would have been cool to do something more than that, and they were going to do a continuation of it where he actually did jump way to the future, and Al was involved as well. It's the could have beens, right?
But I think the fun ones where they do jump out of his lifetime are really excellent. They're all like specials, like, oh my god, you're in someone else's character, because they use that trope quite cleverly for bonus episodes.
Yeah, but he never jumps outside of his.
He does.
Time it's always within his own lifetime.
There's a couple of special ones.
Like when did he jump to?
Well, one is in Al's lifetime before he was born, I think, or something. There's like two. It's very, very rare. But there's
but it's still not like ancient Egypt kind of deal.
Well, sure, but I mean, like a decade before he was born. Like I'm saying there was a precedent it could happen in the most obscene circumstances.
Yeah.
But they were like, we've done 85 of these. How do we do something new? Oh, let's do something new.
Well, the other thing that was cool was the other time jumper that was kind of like a mirror universe evil version.
Amazing. Brilliant concept.
And again, that could have gone so much different. They could have added more to that, and they didn't. But I think the character is quite dynamic and interesting, and you really see the way he struggles with things and having to.
Right, he jumped to the Civil War. That's before his time.
Well, yeah,
That's quite far. How long ago?
It's funny, so when I was asking that, I thought there might be a Civil War thing, but I thought it might just been a reenactment that he jumped into, and he was like, "Oh boy!"
Yeah.
And no, it's just a reenactment. I don't remember specifically.
1 out of 200, right? They're allowed to do.
Yeah. But anyway, that's my thoughts on it. What about you?
Well, he's it's funny because he's not Archer, very distinctly, but it's still Scott Bakula's charm. Because he is a smart guy, but almost all the stories he deals with in Quantum Leap, and I watched it when I was a kid, are very human-based, people-based, so he's just being a good person, right? Now, because he's in all these different situations, he has to do a broad skill set, but that stuff doesn't linger with me. More just, he's a nice person, trying to empathise and work through a situation the most organic way possible, because he's meant to do it in the way they would do it. So it's kind of like almost literally the most perfect everyman. Because he was everyman, right? He could blend in as this, and this. So he's kind of a gentle iconic, if that makes sense. Almost like how M from Men in Black was so distinct but flat. This guy's so flat, so diversely flat, but not as distinct. He's more broad than deep. Yeah.
But also a brilliant scientist that created time travel.
Well, him and his team, in fairness. Like, he's not, like, sciencing every episode. I don't know. This one's tricky, because he's just such a nice guy that you'd absolutely want to hang out with, happy to be saved by, bravery, as you say. My gut would say low B.
Yeah, I was thinking B, looking at this list.
It's like 1,000 mid moments versus some. Oh, there's a few big moments, but that's also the advantage of having a TV show, right? Spread out all the good stuff. So yeah, I would say a happy B, because he certainly beats everyone in C, certainly.
Yes.
But there's some really real highlights in B as well.
Yeah. And as iconic as the character in the show was at the time, and the phrase "oh boy," a lot of people now, if you ask them if they're born after a certain time, wouldn't know what the hell you were talking about. They probably think you're talking about the new Quantum Leap or something. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's a show like Farscape, which has shockingly not had a lifespan past its time. Like A-star, well, the equivalent of A-star at its time, and then just sort of moves past it a bit, while still being loved. And I would love to get the Blu-ray, because I think it'll hold up really well.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, I think. Okay, good choice. Interesting.
And we got Al, of course. You mentioned Ziggy.
I'm so torn if I like him more or worse, because he's a much more distinct characterization, and I think has much funnier lines. But is he more two-dimensional, almost literally? Like, I don't know. He does some things better, some things worse. I think performance-wise, he probably had a harder time. But then they go to 10,000 different roles. God, that's a difficult thing to express.
It was the comedic relief, essentially.
But he was excellent, though.
Yeah, he was the link to the present, where he's like a ladies' man, and yet there's this complex story of his wife and what happened to him in the military, and her thinking that he was dead, and it ends on such a. The ending of Quantum Leap is there's so many interpretations you can take from it as to what exactly happened, and I know there was an alternate scene as well. That's so. Yeah, I think Al started out as kind of a two-dimensional character. It's kind of a hologram, but anyway, and got fleshed out a lot more during the course of the series, to the point where I think he jumped once or twice.
Yes,
switched
he did.
Places. Yeah,
which is a big deal. Well, that's the thing. You don't know where you're going. They were never going to expect 7 seasons, right? And it's quite an expensive show because they keep doing different things. So he is this archetypal, and then obviously that develops. Well, it's funny looking at this picture. I'm thinking, oh, he must have dyed his hair super long because he looked so old. But everyone looked older then because they smoked. He could be like 40, but look like he's nowadays 60. His hair still might have been that dark because he looks too dark hair for the face.
Yeah.
It's a good picture, actually. It's a good resolution. I'm so I don't want to put him as a B because that feels like we're copping out. But he's different, but also great to Sam. So it's like,
Yeah. I don't think C is fair.
Yeah,
though.
I don't think C. And A is certainly too high because he's not going to be remembered, unfortunately, in 20 years. Like, as well as some other ones in A. Shall we just pair them up and say?
Yeah, I might as well.
But they're both great in different ways. It's a very interesting.
It's a testament to the show's writing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they had a great dynamic, the two of them.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Good for them.
All right. Well. Yeah. So I think that's fair. That's very fair.
In different ways.
Yeah.
And if you want to move them, you can. Just say. All right. So suggest your next batch of a couple we had in the buffer. We are Terrence. We want to give this a 3-hour slot if you guys had lots of ideas. So if you have lots of ideas, throw them in. So we've got a couple we have already pre-loaded. But yeah, throw in your suggestions. This is based on your stuff. Where we go next, Stuart? Kevin, we are ranking sci-fi characters. With your $5 super chat, pulls them in, we debate, and we see where we place them.
All right, so Peter Quill.
Oh, I don't know.
Abducted as a kid in the 80s with his Walkman and his music. I love that that's incorporated. I love that's a big part of his character. Again, a pretty interesting story for the character, and even finding out who his real father is, and just going back and seeing his mom dying. I really liked Peter Quill as a character until he totally screwed up their getting the Infinity Gauntlet off of Thanos. That just pissed me off to no end, and for a long time I just didn't like the character because of it. But it's hard because he's such a likable guy. He's so relatable. He's just like, you can imagine yourself doing the same thing and being as kind of silly and goofy in that position, at least I can. But that really ruined the character for me. He's since, I guess, kind of redeemed himself, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what the comic book characters of this character is like either. That's the other thing. I just have this depiction to go on, but yeah.
Yeah, this is such an odd one because I've not seen the third one because it didn't look that. I mean, at some point I watched it. It wasn't a must-watch. I didn't really like the second one that much. It was too long, too convoluted, and some silly ideas, I thought. First one's iconic because it is what it is, right? And the second one, I actually liked him in Infinity War, and there's other things in general where he's, where it's funny, when you put a giant team ensemble, you can have less lines but have each one matter more. It's like every Shrek's joke in Infinity War is like, oh, that's great, oh, that's great, oh, that's great, because he only has 6 lines, right? You know what I mean? Like, not many. So, I think this character works as Chris Pratt is so watchable. He's handsome but nerdy, buff but not in a brute way. He's smart but also dumb. He's a really good actor that plays really well, but I don't think of him much in number 2. I haven't seen number 3 beyond Chris Pratt being fun. It's kind of like Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool a little bit. It's not quite the same way, but it's Ryan Reynolds that's bringing him to life. So I think he is bringing this character to life. I think other people would play him would make the character far less engaging, which means the character's not succeeding. It's the actor in the character. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So like, I'm going to be bold here and just say flat C. He doesn't wow me.
Yeah, I was thinking C also.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the guy, but this is an amazing list when you compare. It's like it doesn't. Yeah.
Now, am I alone in being like pissed off that he screwed up the whole getting the Infinity Gauntlet back?
I mean, he lost the love of his life.
Yeah, who cares?
Well, I mean, if Silver got snapped, if Silver got thrown down a pit.
Yeah, but I wouldn't.
I don't think you know what you do, Stuart. Let's not pretend by a big giant purple guy.
But the whole universe is on the other end of that scale.
He's always been selfish. This is just his MO. It was. Yeah, Well, the thing is, the whole thing's more dumb in that why didn't Doctor Strange just cut his hand off? There's other parts of that scene that make less sense because he just had to. Yeah, it's okay. It makes sense even though it's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very emotion filled. Because he never grew up. He's a child, right? He's a man child. So. And then she died, and then she doesn't come back for real. And I've not seen number 3, and I don't know. I don't know. Is number 3 good?
Yeah. Number 3 is really good.
Okay. You took me with the.
So it's the Christmas special.
Yes, I wanted to watch that. I haven't obviously, but I want to at some point.
All right, Ray Ricks, £5. Logan 5 from Logan's Run.
I didn't know it was that actor, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it, so I'll let you take it away, Stuart.
I haven't seen it for a long time. He's a Sandman. He's responsible for making sure that people follow the rules. He's basically a cop, and it gets to the point where he realizes that he's at that age where he's going to have to do carousel and die essentially, and he doesn't want to, and he runs into, I forget her name, anyway, and they decide to run and see what's outside. And they find the old man, and it's a great movie. It's a fantastic story. It's way different than the book, but I don't remember much about the character except for him being kind of flippant at first, like he was just like, my job's great and I'm awesome, and then seeing the corruption and kind of the bullshit of the world and fighting back against it. Character-wise, I don't know, man. I think, I have an idea based on this list, but You don't have anything to really say about him, do you? No. Okay.
Sorry, I know the film's well liked, but I'm sure it's aged somewhat poorly in terms of many aspects of its time.
Yeah.
But I would assume he's similar to Peter Quill and Sam Beckett, like a nice guy.
Yeah, I'd put him at a C.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I don't think D is very fair at all.
And this is obviously, and this is obviously when huge advantage to characters that have, a TV show versus one movie.
Yes.
But that said, you can still stand out amazingly well. Fair game to anybody, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a TV show as well.
Yeah, there was. Never watched it though.
Terrence, already? Oh no, it's because this is part 2. So it looks like we've done a lot, but this is part 2.
Yeah, this is part 2. Yeah. All right. Well.
Next.
Let's see. What's this one? Just grabbing one from the back so I can't see.
Ooh.
No idea who that is.
Oh, it's Scorpius from Farscape. Oof. So this is one of my all-time favourite villains.
Okay.
Farscape is a phenomenal show anyway, with great art design, great soundtrack, superb actors, great characterizations, great development, a few hiccups here and there, but some outstanding television hours, just outstanding. And this is a character that in season 1 of the show, it's obviously a slight brief for you, Stuart. Season 1, there was a more standard militaristic villain who was good, and the actor was phenomenal at what he was doing, but it was sort of flatter than the show could do. And so at the end of the season, they introduced this guy as the basically Nazi scientist division of that military, the equivalent. Although he's not actually necessarily evil, which is what's fun about him. So then, obviously far more interesting, he took over from the other guy. For a while, they kind of shared command with this guy doing dodgy things. And then throughout the 4 seasons and the movie, he goes from being absolute enemy to frenemy to friend to enemy to hallucination to bootlicker. Very interesting development. Like, they could never have predicted where he was going, and yet this actor in this makeup, he was able to play total comedic character in a Hawaiian shirt. I'm not joking. And creepy, sinister bastard. And those are 2 very different spectrums. He did both, and so you really got to know him. With some very nice payoffs. He's actually a rape victim of an alien species that raped his mum and made him, and his suit keeps him alive. So there's a whole backstory as well. I mean, for me, he's an S tier. Superb, got one of the best villains in my mind, because he's not really a villain, he's an antagonist with so much depth and charisma and interesting. Yeah, I mean, he makes many villains in S look worse. So I top S for him. I've never met him at a convention. He's never done one that I've been able to go to. I'm pissed about that, because I'd love to meet him and just chat to him, and to put up with that makeup every goddamn. Because he's in the season a lot. Like, he's a really constant villain, and that's a shitty lot of everything, Yeah, Farscape, phenomenal. We also want to get the Blu-ray at some point to watch it. Can't he? Still can't he?
I just said, guys, hit that like button if you haven't already. Hope you're enjoying yourself. By all means, use that super chat option to throw in some of your favorite sci-fi characters to have us discuss them. And keep in mind, you can shuffle the board around a little bit if you choose to. If you want to move somebody up or down a tier, it's a $5 super chat to do so. But yeah, these are always great discussions, and we want you guys to be part of it. So let's do the things.
I just love the variety.
Yeah.
Are you surprised by my top S, or just?
No, you made a good case for it.
Hey, thanks.
All right. Next up is Ray Rex again, with 5 pounds. The hero of Canton, the man they call J. Cobb, Firefly.
Jane,
sorry.
The guy before he was in Chuck yeah, he's great. He's the less good Tilk, but also not. He's that classic bruiser character, but the actor has a lot of charm in his dumbness.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of dumb luck, if I recall. Definitely one of the more fun versions of this character, but he definitely had more seasons to go beyond that, as, you know, would be nice. I mean, you've seen Firefly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Just saw it the once. No, he was one of my favorite characters. I had a quirkiness to him. He also betrayed Mal at one point, and I kind of love the way that all played out. But yeah, I think it needed more time to kind of get to know the character, because I would have loved to see another season for sure, because I really like this guy. Even the quirkiness of this silly little hat that he wore and stuff.
His mum is it, you know.
Yeah. He's a nice guy, very relatable guy, I think. Kind of does what's best for him, but still tries to do what's right, and then he gets respect for the team kind of deal. It's an interesting character. Again, I got to go back and revisit Firefly and watch it again, but I've only seen it the once, so I did enjoy the character though, 100%.
Wiki is chaotic good, right?
Yes, 100%.
It's like he's the sort of guy you need to keep him in the mission that's a good guy mission, because he'll do, like I say, the bad things, pew 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 pew, explosion, to help the good reason, but he will also take a bigger paycheck and do bad things for a bad reason. So you've got to keep him on side. So he's a classic mercenary, but just likable, but also dumb. A bit like Ronan in SGA. That's an interesting comparison. Yes. Ronan had a darker past. This guy feels a wonderful surface level. You just appreciate what he's doing versus necessarily why he's doing it. Ronan, that's like proper under backstory stuff.
What are you responding to?
Oh, Trekyards, bit like Ronan from Stargate Atlantis.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Where would you rank him, though?
I like him better as the character than Peter Quill. He's more interesting. Yes. But he doesn't raise to anyone in B. Not even M Black guy. So regrettably a high C. Because there's nothing in between. That would be my gut. What's your gut? And if you don't agree, you guys make the decision for us.
My gut was a low B, but because I didn't think C was quite fair. So we got to know him way more than we got to know Peter Quill, I think.
But not as a hero. You are right, but Peter got, a lot of scenes dedicated to his character. I think, guys, we need your vote. This needs to be a fan vote, because Firefly is so iconic. Vote now in the chat, and one super chat clinches it.
It can be $2.
Yeah, it can be anything. So give you guys
either
a minute
B
or
or
two.
C.
Oh, vote now. So we do like this is a genuine community thing. So even the votes are democratized. Unless you say yes, then it's like, well, we didn't say yes. There's so much good sci-fi, isn't there? The fact that we've got so many good characters, it's like, yep, a lot of good characters.
So help break our tie, guys, with the super chat, or don't know what else to say. I'm willing to go with C.
I mean, I'm right in between. That's the thing. I just even just people saying in the chat. I want to know what people vibe. Where are we going? I'm trying to just get someone new on the board. But I wonder if another season how much it would change the character, because of course, having to do different things might have made it more interesting, but it might have nullified his character a bit. I don't know. There's a real purity with Firefly that they are what they are. They were all the original vision. You know what I mean? They were exactly as they were meant to be and never got a chance to go beyond that. But that's also kind of good, because then they're the true vision of the character. Yeah. A lot of people saying Mr. Stewart.
Got 2 Bs.
Okay. Give it another 1 minute. See what the people say. Ah, yes, Long John Jakar. Ryan, what are your thoughts on the Acolyte? As in, you're Stuart. Ryan, I was asking you.
It feels like very expensive fan fiction. The acting is not superb. It's story.
Even Carrie Ann from Matrix, her acting's not very good in all the many episodes. As one of the leads of the show, right?
She's in it quite a bit now, yeah.
Okay.
She's all right. She's kind of flat. I don't know. It's not that great.
Where would you put it on the pantheon of the Trek of the Wars shows?
Probably below The Last Jedi. And that's not a show, I realize, but it's just we'll have to see where it goes.
Gosh.
It's a complicated discussion, and Sam hasn't watched it, so I can't really get into it too much. I
appreciate the non-discussion. Where in terms of TV shows, if you had to like place it, any sort of TV shows? Last, okay. Right.
Behind everything else, which is it's just wait till we see how it plays out. But
yeah. How many episodes more?
Like another 4. Anyway, all right. So BBB, we're gonna put him in B.
Okay. Hey, you guys have spoken. Listen to the people.
Let's see. We got SBS Guru 2,000, 10 pounds. Todd the Wraith.
Todd the Wraith. Do you know Todd the Wraith?
I do. I don't remember much about him though.
Okay, Todd the Wraith, played by Christopher Heimdall, who I've met several times. Who was a multiple Wraith man. And then up being this amazing frenemy. The only perspective Wraith character we have. He started out prison cell guy. Excellent episode, very low key, and then becomes a constant. He's almost gets overused, but he has a tremendous look into the politics of the Wraith because you see it from his high ranking. Very devious, very very clever. He's never on your side, but you might be on his side. And I know the movie was meant to be his story as well, and he was also the final episode story as well. So he's all over because he was such a good character, and the acting was superb. He's still a Wraith, which sort of limits slightly the depth, but not a problem. But superb acting, great makeup, great look, great voice. I wouldn't say one of my favourite villains, but he's great. And I don't know why he's not one of my favourite villains. Maybe because, like I said, the cage of the race limits him. But then, like, same thing with like Agent Smith, right? That's a very. What do you guys think? I'm interested briefly, if you guys think any other thoughts you have before I say.
Not really. Sorry, I can't really contribute on this one too much.
It's fine. I would say. Oh God. I would say a B is fair because he is very good at many points. And he's one of the most memorable things in that show. So that should get him points. He's not an A because he doesn't have that much. Definitely beats everything in C. Just because he has way more depth than everyone in C. So I think respectable B. I think, yeah. Yeah. Which in fact makes... Well, I mean, I did say Jane was a C. That shows the difference in contrast that B is. Because he's definitely better than Jane. Oh, it's tricky. Yeah, it's so tricky when you start contrasting.
Okay, next up, Mark Lawrence, $5. Christopher Plummer as the Emperor in Starcrash. I had to do it. No idea. Never seen it.
I've no idea what this is. He looks cool.
I know what Starcrash is. I've just never seen it. I've seen like reviews of it, but I've never seen it. So. Okay,
Mark. Because you're Mark, Mr. President, tell us where to put him. You get a free slot. Use your power well. Yeah, I'm sorry, I have no idea, and I've never even seen this actor this young before, so it's like, oh, that's how young he looked. That's kind of sad, but cool. He's young. Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, the outfit kind of reminds me of like something you'd seen in the movie Excalibur.
Yeah,
it's got that high neck guard thing, and
it's like it's like Excalibur meets Ming the Merciless. Like that film. You know, that sort of camp, like over the top look, but still. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. Ming Mercer's put him up here. That'd be a hell of a debate. that's a character.
Well, Mark, let us know where you want to put him.
Yeah, you get 3 slots, sir. And that's only from Stuart's era, so Stuart could have seen it. I don't even think we've heard of the film. Yeah, we watched Flash Gordon like a year ago because it was one of Marie's dad's favourite films. He's not a sci-fi fan; he just loves that film, and Marie finds it too camp. And it's like, yes, but and I never even seen the start of it ever. I only ever had seen it starting in the alien locations. It used to be on TV all the time. Mark, place him. So he was great. The movie, not so much. It's worth a watch though. I don't know what Starcrash is, Kevin. Oh, have you been to a drive-in movie? You must have been. Must have.
Yeah, there's a drive-in just down the road. We can go now if you want.
I mean, I could if I was there. Yeah, they don't exist in the UK, so.
Yeah, you see them all the time as a kid.
Mark is B. Did a great. Oh, then he's. Decide, Mark. Decide.
Let's see. Yeah, pick one.
And yes, everyone's options are in the things. We are ready to go with more. So keep putting them in, guys. Loving the variety. There's a hell of a variety on here. Don't know if we can ever run out of this game. And it's funny because a lot of the small characters can be exceptional. You know, all the one-offs or one film characters can just really pop. I mean, let's be honest, the T-1000, if and when he comes up, he'll be pretty... Just because he's just an effective character, right?
Alright, he's going with A.
Okay. Damn, son. Damn. The power of the mark. Alright, super.
Alright. Rayrix, 10 pounds. Londo and Jakar, Babylon 5.
Oh, they're all okay. Right. Oh.
This is like the Odo and Quark of Deep Space Nine, but a Babylon 5. Again, I haven't watched all of Babylon 5, but I like both of these characters quite a bit.
God, there's a high-res picture of them, because that's a really nice res picture for a 90s show. And like I said, we're doing this separately, guys. It's just a good picture of them together. So, your thoughts?
I think they're a great duo. They're both quirky characters. The one, Tomalak, he... I don't know that character's name. Is that good? Jakar?
Andre Javale, something like that.
Yeah. He's really great in the role. I did enjoy him quite a bit. Like I said, I still have to finish watching Babylon 5. I think I've watched the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, there's a lot you've missed with these two.
Yeah, these two are always back and forth. Like I said, it's the Quark and Odo of Babylon 5. And I'm sure they get much more in-depth with the characters, but I honestly don't know. I really love the portrayal of the Tomalak guy. He's a great, like, sinister yet not. Quirky and kind of funny. But not intentionally necessarily.
Yeah.
And Londo's just always kind of scheming and kind of...
And it's not a spoiler because you've seen they literally show the flash forwards in season 1 and 2. So Londo becomes Emperor. That's in a flash forward, right? So I can say that even if you've forgotten it, it is in the show. You have seen that. So there's obviously a giant arc from just, you know, very disgraced politician to the Emperor of the Imperium, and also he's Emperor for a very long time. There's a whole arc about that as well. So he gets really old in the role, which is tremendous. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where the makeup helps a lot too. They have such a presence in the look of each, the way they stand, the way the way that Jakar, like, which obviously his costume kind of creaks with all the different materials. It kind of gives him a little texture, like, as he like, and the other guy stands with, like, he's Napoleon, right? That's a big part of it. Like, there's a formality to him that is interesting by itself. All these characters are. These people exist as characters. The acting, of course, the fact they both sort of have accents almost, and Londo's as a full accent. The development is obviously exceptional. Doesn't always go where you want, but you see the journey, and it makes a lot of sense. And obviously, J. Straczynski, tremendous dialogue, both in the macro and the big. I guess macro is the small. So yeah, who's better? That's a good question. I think Londo's a bit better because he does more, but Jakar... No, Londo does do a lot more, but Jakar, the intensity and the quietness and the transformation in his soul you can kind of see on screen, they both kind of have that, but for him to go from I hate everyone in your race to I accept it, to just... It's very interesting as a case study, and yeah, very good. Very, very good. I mean, yeah. Babylon 5 was good. They put all the money into props and costumes, not the sets. Boy, not the sets, and the CG was clever. But those hold up gorgeously today, don't they? I mean, Jakar's makeup is still like that's like incredible. Oh, I feel like they both deserve an S, as annoying as that is, because they are both exceptional. Even if even if the show itself has been not properly forgotten, but the amount of good dialogue and good moments, it's just really freaking good. And those are the two people normally talked about for that show as the two, and everyone else can kind of be like, oh yeah, they're great. Those two are like, you okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah 100%. Classic for real, $2. Glad to see SG1 win. Let's go, people with taste.
It's doing well. All the Stargates are, yeah.
And Kevin Scott, 76, $5. Mal from Firefly needs to be S class. Okay, we'll bump him up.
He's very watchable. I liked meeting Nathan Fillion that one time.
That one time.
Yeah, it was one UK convention that I caught him.
Nice. Okay, well, I'll move everybody else over there. Okay, perfect. Eric Martin, member for 20 months at the rank of captain. Acolyte is worse than Boba Fett so far, and that's a low bar. I didn't mind Boba Fett, honestly. There's a lot I liked about it.
Well, yeah, there's a disparity in quality there.
Yeah.
When it does good, it does good, but when it does bad, it does bad.
And Eric Martin, $5. Keep up the good work, guys. I'm still working.
Good work. Do your bit for Queen and Country.
Yes. Ray Ricks, £5. Colonel John Sheppard from Stargate Atlantis.
I have many thoughts. I'll let you jump in first.
Loved him as a team leader. He had a kind of a quirky, soft side to him. Definitely wasn't a hard ass. He was a Jack O'Neill of SG-1 without being. Well, he was basically the same. there's a lot about him that was the same as O'Neill. Great team leader. Definitely took care of his team and dedicated himself to his job. I don't know what else to say. He's a great team lead, but to me, he's just a carbon copy of Jack O'Neill, just for the Stargate Atlantis team, without the tragic backstory of like the son. So, yeah, I saw a lot of similarities between him and Jack O'Neill.
So, he is and he isn't. He's the same archetype while being entirely differently performed. Because he's not the funny man. He's very nice, but he's not funny. He's not particularly snarky, except occasionally. He's more tactical than Jack, for sure. I think Jack was more, as in O'Neill was more... I think he was team lead at a very different time. This guy was more in the actual... like assault branch longer, it feels like. So he's more like, we're going to go shoot our way out. Jack is not quite that way most of the time, right? So he's more direct in that sense.
Okay,
This guy's obviously a pilot, which helps. So he flies a pearl jumper. He jumps in and is very go-getter, whereas Jack will stand back and let the people do the things. He's got this set. This guy probably has a slightly broader skill set. Well, he's smarter, right? We said that last time. He's a smarter guy, broader skill set. And in fact, he was one of the top pilots, which is interesting, same as Cameron, but a slightly different track. He... Yeah, it's interesting to kind of compare the two. He's more an everyman in that he's not trying to be silly. Like, you know, he's like your younger brother who's like, oh yeah, I like that guy, versus Jack is more like your older brother who's trying harder. You know? I mean, I obviously, I've met Joe many times. I think this guy probably for me would get a low A, because he's still a very, very good version of the archetype. But they didn't have too much complicated stuff either. Oof. I think my gut was A, but really probably is a B. Where was your gut going to be?
I was thinking B because I think he's under Jack O'Neill. To me, Jack O'Neill is way more memorable. And I don't know why that is. Just because he's been around longer or because there's more episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it's over double, right?
But...
When also O'Neill's a producer...
I can never take this... What's that?
Well, also O'Neill was a producer, so he was always the lead. This guy was more of an ensemble show, so he had less screen time because he wasn't a producer. So
that's probably a big thing, yeah.
You know, front and foremost. Which is fair.
Yeah, I just could never take this guy seriously as much as I wanted to. I don't know why. It's something about the actor. He just seems like such a regular, nice, down-to-earth guy that he just doesn't come across as being a hard-ass military guy for me.
Well, that's what I said last time. He's younger, so his military days are different to Jack's military days, where it was more about more harsh fighting. Like, just a different time of the war, right? Like, I'm sure military people today are a little bit different as well. I mean, go with a B, because I mean, for what he's trying to do, I think he's really good, and you like him straight from the first episode. You're with him the entire time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he does the job really well. I mean, he's no McKay, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's McKay.
Classic for real gifted 1 Trekyards membership. So I'd like to welcome Trekyardians
to
the channel. Welcome, Trekyardians.
Welcome. Finally, you've done it. You've made it.
Let's see. So SVS Guru 2000 throws in €5. It says the chicken-loving snake oil salesman from Fallout.
No idea.
Same. Have not yet watched Fallout.
But I don't know if you can. I don't know if this guy is quite a lead as much as the last person that was. So we'll let you vote, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Vote. Where do you think they should be?
I think probably a B. I just have a vibe that he's going to be one of those memorable characters. But SVS Guru, you're welcome to throw in a super chat and place your own character. I'm just saying, because I don't know where to put him.
Confusing.
Raj says at least a B. See, yeah. Look at that.
It's such a funny concept. He's chicken salesman, whatever you said. It's like, and that gets a B.
He's a snake oil salesman, but he loves chicken.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Because we trust you all so much. We'll go with your thing.
So far we got a B.
Put the next person in.
If anyone else has anything to put in with this character, let us know where we should rank him.
I'm very excited to watch the Fallout show, though. Just need to sit down and...
Yeah, same.
As you know, guys, my Prodigy fan collection of episodes is now finally being released. Obviously, I say finally, you guys didn't know existed until recently, but that's taking up quite a lot of my... Well, it isn't actually, because I do other work to justify that fact and take time off to do it, because, got to pay bills somehow. And fan films do not pay said bills in that way, so... So if you want to support us on Patreon, please do.
Oh, Raj was saying John Sheppard is at least a B. Okay.
Ah, yes. Okay, cool. Okay, I just saw the next one. That's funny. That's funny. That's a good one.
Well, we'll put him at C for now.
We'll put him at C. Yeah, we don't know. In other days, that'd be a NA, non-applicable. But maybe in years to come, Stuart, we'll look back at this and say, "Pah! He is the only double S! What were we thinking?" Maybe.
Yes. All right, Mark Lawrence, $5. Rosa Salazar in Alita, as Alita in Alita Battle Angel.
Salazar? That's cool. Did not know that. I googled it and found the picture. Salazar. What do you think of Alita Battle Angel, Stuart? We've never talked about it before.
It's not a bad movie, actually. It's kind of fun. I like the CGI work in it, and I got it in 3D, so it's very cool in 3D. But it was quite a while ago that I watched it, and as far as I know, she did a fantastic job. But I don't know enough about the character per se. I don't have a lot to say about Alita Battle Angel. Sorry.
Yeah, decent film. I wouldn't necessarily say good. I think it's a film that was too concerned with if, not should. And maybe could have been shorter and more condensed. I don't know. But yeah, excellent CGI performance, because of course it's a fake face. Yeah. Many of the characters have fake things. So the fact that so much real character came through a motion capture performance, I felt the character, so very much good job there. But if I recall correctly, she doesn't remember anything. So a lot of the film, she's a perspective character, learning the world through her. She's a child for a lot of it. So the character's just a genteel robot girl, right? I mean, my gut says C, because I don't remember her having a tremendous amount of depth to be like, yes, definitive. It's good performance, but I don't think there's much that I can remember, like, yes, beyond that.
Trekyard says, ooh, S, she's amazeballs. Mark Lawrence says, I agree with Trekyard.
Why? Like, it's good. Many people are good. You know? What was special about the performance specifically, apart from the fact it was through a camera, because of, a CGI performance?
It's just making me realize I need to watch a lot of things again.
Yes. Fair.
But I also have to watch a lot of things for the first time, so it's a balancing act.
Yeah. Very, very true statement. Yeah, like I say, I mean, the complexity of the characters in Net B, I mean, she had one film. I mean, Sam Beckett had 7 seasons, Cara Thrace had 4. I don't have enough feelings about it to give her a B, so I'm very content with a C, and I don't know how I justify a B. But of course, if we say C, we'll make it a B. That's up to you guys. But yeah, those are them our feelings. Huh?
Yes. Right. SBS Guru, 2,005 pounds. Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson from the Prince.
That's a Stargate Atlantis episode.
I know.
So they are sci-fi characters. So obviously 5 only gets you 1. So I got him. Yeah, fun. I mean, they were playing themselves, but argumentative scientist people. Yes. Oh, it just is ties planets. Yeah,
so
I mean,
playing themselves. I mean, they got to be S tier because they're just them.
Yeah. I mean, a gentle C. They were good at science men, and it's a weird episode. It's a good episode, but it's a weird episode. So the poll, 57 votes. We'll go until at least 60. What was a better TV show? And this has moved quite a lot. Stargate SG-1, Babylon 5, and Battlestar Galactica. Babylon 5 was winning for a while, so that tile has turned. So we'll get another 3 votes at least. Hey, Laura, good to see you. I mean, that's everything's a super chat to how us talk about them. So yeah, and we can do variations in a theme, as in we can have this character from like SG-1. They can be this character from this version of the movie, and then a different because there are several.
All right. Ray Ricks, again, with £5. Thank you. Professor Maximilian Arturo, Sliders. I don't remember Sliders enough to talk about it, but I know this actor's really great in pretty much everything he does.
Yeah, this was one that we had like 3 or 4 VHS episodes, and it was occasionally on TV, but I wasn't allowed to watch TV unless the parents were watching TV, so if they didn't put it on, we didn't watch it. So sure, I really want to go back and watch. I love the concept. I remember loving the cast because they're all characterful. I remember liking this guy a lot. I mean, tremendous voice, good fun personality. I mean, C, because I can't remember much more. But I'm pretty sure he'd be a B if I watched the show, like have seen more of it. But I remember liking him a lot. But that's also young brain, etc. But if I was to make him a B, I please do, because but also it's 90s storytelling, so it may have been very episodic and not necessarily character growth. And of course, if they can't slide back to their own families, then you can't actually see his mum and dad because they're in Universe 1 7 months that way, right? There's almost a limitation that you can't do that. Although, how do they even do that show? How do they keep going to different universes and make stories out? That's crazy.
I don't know. I need to go back and watch it.
Yeah,
that's one of I watched occasionally when it was on at the time back in the 90s, and I can barely remember what I ate for lunch today. So, but I know this John Rhys Davies is a fantastic actor. Like you said, a very booming voice as well. He always plays a good character. Yeah. So I can't imagine me not liking the character. So, yeah, I think C's fair for now.
So I remember he's one of the most famous parts of the show. Like, I think he was one of the most known people. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And of course, along with him was the chap that plays Ransom in Lower Decks. It was the lead of that show.
Jerry O'Connell.
That's where I know him from. As little as I've seen Mr. Young O'Connell. So yeah, feel free to move him up, guys. Just don't have enough memories of him specifically to bring him from there.
Yeah. Let's see. So, guys, hit like if you haven't hit like yet. We have 33 likes, so let's get a few more than that. So let's see how we get that number. So if you're just joining us, please hit the like button. Remember to vote on the poll. We have 60 votes now, by the way.
Oh, excellent. I'll do a poll then. So the winner of the poll is wait for small people to jump in with ideas. Which was a better TV show? And these are some 3 heavy hitters, right? Like proper top tier. SG-1 wins, though, with 45%. So that's around 28 people. Babylon 5 comes a very close second, as in to third. 28%. And Battlestar Galactica 27%. Where would you have placed those if you had to rank those 3?
Probably would have switched around Battlestar and Babylon 5, but I haven't seen all of Babylon 5, to be fair.
Yeah, so. I would agree with that ranking just because Babylon has a better overall story than Battlestar. And its payoff is much better. Like, I don't particularly like Season 4 Battlestar. But it's a letdown compared to 1 and 2. And 3 is not great for me, it's too dark. Versus Babylon, I mean, Season 4 of Babylon is just fucking... Fucking hell. So, new poll.
Mark Lawrence says he had a wealth of knowledge without it being too intricate per field of science. Perfect balance. Easy A for the professor. Well, if you want to move him up, Mark, you know what to do. All right. What is next?
Oh, thanks, Classic Pro. Slides does need a remake.
SCS Guru 2000, €5. Hermiad on the Doodle.
Right, Stu, you tell me about what you think of Hermiad while I put in the poll.
Is this Thor?
Nope, it's Hermiad.
Amazing puppet. The Asgardians are very cool in that show for sure. I don't know if I know. Sure, he's great.
Love you, man. You're great. This is a great time. This is good stuff. Okay, I need a third TV show. Ooh. Actually, yeah. Let's do that. Let's go with three very different shows here in the next poll.
Which is the best show? Stargate Atlantis, Firefly, or X-Files?
So very different shows. Herad, really fun. Really, he's kind of like Jane in the sense of not Jane. Todd, in that you bring him in. Almost every line is gold because he's there to be comic relief, but so basically he is the Asgard scientist assigned to our ship, the Ghost helps Atlantis. So he's agreed to work like 1 billion light years from his homeworld and live with goddamn humans for 5-6 years. So what a boss to do that, because we suck, I'm sure, and he has an entirely different personality to us, and he's hard to deal with. But everyone is an ant to him, intelligence-wise, even though he's small. And it's fun to see McKay especially, who's very, very smart, who knows some things sort of better, and then Hermia's like, oh no, actually this, and this, and he's like, oh, for God's sake. So he's basically a living supercomputer, and has some really good dialogue, and gets pissy, but also you've got to like him, and it's sad when he leaves the show, because, SG-1 ends, and there's a reason for that. Yeah, one of the better Asgard for sure. He gets the most screen time. God, that's a problem. If he has excellent scenes, but the fact there's so few, is that a detractor?
No. Because if there's fewer and he's excellent in them, and they're good dialogue, that would elevate him, I would think.
I'm going to throw him in, personally, in the same vein, as silly as it sounds, in C with Professor X and Saruman. As in, what he does superb. There isn't the depth to go beyond that, and therefore he doesn't have the richness to go into B.
That I think is fair.
But he's very, very good in his scenes. I have met an Asgard puppet, and effing amazing. They're really amazing. Just, oof. Yeah.
Do they still hold up?
Yeah, I mean,
are they like the Gremlins puppets that are starting to rot?
No, great. Yeah, as of we saw them in the pandemic. Yeah, great. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, they were made to last years because when they were made to last.
Yeah.
Very thick skin. It felt like skin. Felt like skin. Yeah.
Well, we have 35 likes with 25 viewers now. Some of those viewers are probably new here, so by all means,
welcome.
Hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's try to get those likes up.
If every one of you hasn't, then why not? That's my question to you.
Yes. Oh. All right.
Yeah, here's Raj. Ooh, the poll. X-Files is doing well.
Yeah.
Okay, old school. Firefly is not doing so well.
And Ray Ricks, 5 pounds. Dr. Walter Bishop, Fringe. Great actor.
He's the diviner.
Yes.
Grr.
Also plays Moriarty in something. Cannot for the life of me remember now. But he is a good Professor Moriarty for Sherlock Holmes. Anyway, never seen Fringe, so he's a doctor. He's this guy. This actor's pretty good, so he probably does really well. He's probably at least a B.
So I've seen the first 2 seasons of Fringe, because the first season was J.J. Abrams staying and doing the work, and then he fucks off, I believe, to do other things. And since he has no vision for his own shows, he just sort of starts things, and the show kept going. The answer to the questions were bad or not well appreciated. So the show in the first season is very good because it's like, this is the concept. Same with Alias, right? Then it just start again, another show of his. It just starts to fall apart because he hasn't. I would always plan personally. And I remember. Do I remember? Is his son or his father who is Len Nimoy? No, his partner. Is this his partner? Is this guy out of time or is the other guy out of time? I can't. That's just how memorable it was, I guess. I mean, honestly, performance great, C, but I don't think the character is broad enough. When you look at the A's and S's, what they're able to do with their time. A good performance does not equate to the most interesting character, I would say, for that. Yeah, that's a weird one. Yeah, respectable C, good performance, but again, I haven't seen the fall of it.
Yeah, I think C is kind of our catch-all, as it turns out. We're not quite sure what to say. We just throw them at C for average.
I mean, B's are still high quality. You know, it's kind of the... Yeah, interesting.
Dan Ben, Thor is my favorite in SG-1. Yeah, Thor's pretty great.
Yeah, Thor probably a higher rank because he gets a lot more screen time.
All right. BJ, Tehran, $5. Captain Nathan Bridger, Roy Scheider from seaQuest DSV. Reliving childhood. Figured I'd get a future submarine show. Well, was future in the list. Like I said earlier, with anything Roy Scheider does, I think is great. All his characters are pretty much the same person. But as the captain of DSV, I think he does a really fantastic job. Gruff yet likable, and somebody that you can definitely respect, but also go for a drink with. So again, it's been a while since I've seen DSV, but I know Roy Scheider's great, so I'm probably going to say B for this one based on what I remember from the show. But have you watched DSV?
Never seen a single frame.
Oh, well. Well, that's easy. We'll put him in B.
Yeah, I never saw the option of it on the television in the UK, and I've, as we've said to many of these things, when do you ever fancy going back to a vintage TV show when you got everything else to watch? How many new Star Wars and all these big shows, and going back to that one, especially as you could binge everything. So if it's good, you're like, well, I could just finish it, right? And I also hear, the show falls down a cliff of quality, so. It's like Space 999. The first season's good and then it isn't.
Yeah. Mark Lawrence, $5. The awesome Brian Thompson as the alien bounty hunter in the X-Files. Been picking actors that have been on Star Trek but not in their roles. Yeah. This guy, like me and Sylvia are currently rewatching DS9. He plays the Jem'Hadar. He plays the guy with the Tulaberry wine. I can't remember their race. The Delta Quadrant. But we call him Mr. No-Neck because he's got a very distinctive jawline. It's like, hey, it's Mr. No-Neck guy again. Because I can never remember his name. Yes, Alien Bounty Hunter, sufficiently creepy and sufficiently intimidating. I think he did a fantastic job in the X-Files. And he's kind of one of those actors that's been in everything, I think, just because of his distinctive look. So... no, but Alien Bounty Hunter was a good role for him for sure.
Did he do anything outside of just being a big, slow-talking, intimidating guy? Because Jem'Hadar, he had a very distinct speech pattern. There's a character there. It wasn't
he's always got a distinct speech pattern.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought that was. Okay, fair enough.
It was kind of it's a stilted kind of approach to speech. It's like.
Kind of like Jaws, but could speak more.
Yeah, well, exactly, yeah.
Which is funny because I said could speak more, which is not proper English, so I really did myself a good thing there.
I'd give him a C, honestly, for the Alien Bounty Hunter role. Wasn't in it enough. I think could have used more of him, but yes, he was very intimidating as an antagonist, or as a villain. I don't think he was a villain necessarily, but yeah, let's go with C for him. You haven't seen X-Files, have you?
Nope. Although I'm glad there is a Blu-ray of it, so when I will watch it, I'll be able to see how it holds up or not.
There's also the movies too, so hopefully the
yeah.
Anywho's, what's next? Classic for real, $5. Hesh from C-Lab 2021. No idea. Haven't watched C-Lab.
From your era, Jet.
Haven't watched C-Lab.
F!
We'll put him at D until somebody changes it.
No. He's not Jar Jar.
I don't want to put him in C. I mean, it's probably where it's going to go, but...
I mean, there's no information. I mean, because it was the same with F, because it's a joke, because there's nothing about him to don't even know anything about the show. And he looks rather plain as well. I'm so sorry.
All right, moving on.
Wow. Extremely obscure things. We do need more Star Wars, Dan. Do we have any Star Wars?
We have to.
Oh, Jar Jar. and that was what I put in there. Wow. Guys, there are so many Star Wars characters.
I also love that you're avoiding Star Trek and Star Wars, though, because there's so many other sci-fis.
But Star Wars is fair game.
Okay, SGS Guru, 2,000. £5. President Whitmore from Independence Day.
Which I love that. It's such an un-sci-fi interior. Oh wait, of course it's a giant sci-fi thing. So much of this is just, you know, a guy in shirt and tie.
He makes a good president, and his speech, his Independence Day speech, was fantastic. And it was also, they humanized the character of the president with his wife getting in the accident and him not sure if she's alive or dead, and them having a daughter. I think he did a great job, and he's a good character, and he's a fantastic president, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's such a unique role to be the president. It's got to be so much more than just commanding, because in theory you had to win against dozens of candidates and win the votes of millions of people, or tens of millions, right? So you've got to have such a... But once you're there, it's hard to get... Like, you're there for 4 years, so you actually want to be a nice... In theory, you want to be someone who's people like you and want to keep liking you, and he has that kind of, I got the job, let's do a good job and be a good guy vibe, which is, he just does, he just zones in well. Yeah, I think he's pretty well respected, one of the better on-screen presidents. Because
I would imagine so, yeah.
Deals with, and then... Because doesn't he also fly one of the jets? Or is he...
Yes, I think he does.
I think because he was a pilot, I think he then does... That's why he's so central to the plot, because he's throughout the story in different elements.
Yeah.
My gut says straight into B, because he is one of the... That film is very well cast anyway, but
yeah,
he is one of the presidents I think of when I think film presidents. So... Gut reaction right there.
B is what I was thinking as well, so that's good.
Probably a low B, but buzz.
As far as presidents go, or presidents on screen, I think he does really great.
Yeah.
He's got that generic kind of president look to him, you know?
Yes. He's not quite Morgan Freeman as God. You know, he's the only God I think about when I think of the from Bruce Almighty. Not as a sci-fi film, but sometimes the guy just works in the role.
All right, classic for real, $5. Emery and Olga Thorpe from whatever the hell ATHF is.
I mean, I think you'll have to agree, Stuart. Instant A. I mean, classic character. The morals learned by the dealing with humans, the amount of subtext, the relationship with their mother, the square version. Just really iconic. And that speech in the 15th episode about war and peace. I mean, if that's on A, I don't know what else is.
Sure. I don't know this character or which show it's from, so... What is ATHF?
Oh, I have no idea. I was acting there, Stuart.
I know you were.
Oh, damn. What is this person that submitted it? because it's a cool-looking weird thing.
Looks like Crimzeek from Transformers.
Okay, it's a villain. Egglethorpe. Oh god. Egglethorpe and Emery, better known as the Plutonians, are two spiked aliens for the animated series Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Who was voiced by Andy Morell, and the other one was voiced by Mike Schwartz. I don't know either of them. They try planning new ways of world domination, but they sometimes bicker and get their own plans foiled. They hated Master Shake because he is very annoying and more ignorant than most were. Orthorpe is an orange and an obese who speaks in a heavy German accent. He is more impulsive and dim-witted of the two. And Emery is green and Scottish. Thinner and taller, is nicer, soft-spoken.
Cool. C?
I mean D, because we have no context here. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's going in D.
Badgie's dad, yes. As I win right now. What a pick.
Well, I mentioned Crimzeek. If anybody knows who the hell Crimzeek is, let me know. All right. SBS Guru 2000, 5 pounds. The memorable Dexter Jettster in the Star Wars Episode 2. You know what? I really like this character. As you say, he is memorable. And the 50s diner thing is a nice, interesting idea. And I love his speech pattern. He's just kind of a slob, like a cook, and he's like pulling up his pants with his one pair of hands. I don't know. I like the character, and he's memorable, I guess. Fine. I'll give him a C.
Yeah,
not enough screen time.
Yeah, for me, fun is sort of the word. It's one of those things where George Lucas did this very well. He took a very understandable phraseology, but something that we all understand, the New York diner person, gave it an extremely elaborate, intricate, and difficult to do CG body, which had its own unique isms, and a good performance. Gentle, decent. I remember seeing the behind the scenes that the voiceover actor, I believe, did the scenes first with you and then walked out, or then did it again without their character. Yeah, I mean, C's fine. You know, one more standouts of that film, but you know, a giant standing slug is a memorable thing to see. So, yeah, gentle C, a respectful C.
Indeed.
I'm glad we've got some Star Wars things coming out. There's so many Star Wars characters to bring in.
BJ Turan, $10. Morgan Elsbeth and Balin Skull from Ahsoka. Thought, although they were both great villains, Lars Mikkelsen as Thawne was great, but they really carried the show for the first half of the season as the big baddies. Yes. So which one did you want?
Well,
Morgan Elsbeth.
He's a classic one, so I've included them both as I have no idea these characters, right? So I'm including them both as the same people, and then Thrawn. I've got two Thrawns. I want to talk about Thrawn in a second because that's a worth discussion by itself. So you want? So I'll let you talk about the Ahsoka side of it, and I'll talk about the classic Thrawn side of it.
That's not Morgan Elsbeth, but okay.
But I googled it. That's who came up. What? Oh. Well, thanks, fucking Google. So it's the other lady. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Well, don't do the. I mean, don't tell me the Google then, Google. You lying search engines. The first picture is those guys. So the way he said that, I thought that was the two names. I thought that was. Okay, this lady. I don't know who she is.
You should. She was in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, some lady with a. Okay. Like. Okay, some lady. Sorry. She was there.
She's the one who fights Ahsoka, and
I
he gets the Beskar spear from her.
Just a pissed off lady. She wasn't very memorable, apart from a fight. Thoughts? Well, that's
right. Oh. Morgan Elsbeth. we're only doing 2 of these, so we might as well do Balin's Skull as well, because it was the first 2 we mentioned. Don't do Thrawn. Anyway, Morgan Elsbeth, she's... Yeah, I wasn't super stoked to see her in Ahsoka, but she kind of has an interesting arc in that. Again, Sam hasn't seen it, so I can't speak much about it, but she definitely grew as a character in Ahsoka, and I think she's pretty well acted, and the intimidation factor just isn't quite there for me. She just is kind of a baddie. She's not really one that's... I'm like, ooh, I'm worried for the heroes when they show up on screen. So she's fine. I can't say anything about her arc because Sam hasn't seen it. So she's fine. For me, she's a C. I'll put her at a C. Not really.
Okay.
Not really a fantastic standout or anything, in my opinion. I mean, other people might disagree, but that's fine.
And obviously, you can overrule Stuart by supercharging your thoughts in a second. So I do want to do Thrawn rather than the other guy because I've seen Thrawn. So I want you to talk about the Thrawn from the show. I want to talk about the Thrawn from the books. Because they're different.
Well, I kind of want to do Skull. This is awesome. But anyway, that's okay. Whatever. It's fine. We'll do Thrawn. Thrawn from the show was the same guy that voiced the one for the series for Rebels and stuff, and I think he did very well. He was a very intimidating presence, and I think I've seen some clips from Rebels of him. I think he's much more impressive in Rebels, but to translate that to live action, I think he did great, and I'm looking forward to the next season to see where that goes, because we didn't get a lot of them. We got like he was last couple episodes kind of deal, but I think it was a very good turn on bringing somebody to live action, and I think they did a fantastic job to be able to use the voice actor that looks the part. So, is he intimidating? Yes, he is. I wouldn't want to serve under him, let's put it that way. He's kind of a hard ass, and yeah, I think he's a good villain, and I will probably put him at...
It's the TV show version.
I know, the fucking one from the book's going to get an S, I understand this. Again, we didn't see a lot of them on screen, unfortunately, so I think at least deserves an A.
Cool.
So there we go. He's got an A.
Super.
You want to talk about the book one?
Yes, the book one.
You can put it in S, so just put it there.
Good job. Yeah, I mean, one of the few, considered one of the best Star Wars characters ever written. Timothy Zahn, of course, did his original set, and then was brought back to the reboot, non-Legends version, so same but different. Just the classic archetypal of the quiet, calculating tactician, but with such a zazz to it as well. A good arc, the gentle fact, at least in this version, that to be in a heavily speciesist society, why do you think the Empire is all humans, and him be one of the top 3 people because he's that good? He beats out all the xenophobia, and I mean he there's a reason he's one of the few that was sought after to jump into the newest canon, and then was jumped in pretty quickly. So yeah, I mean, truly amazing character, and almost every book they're in is just excellent. So yes, very much S. And I certainly would hope that the live action is as good as he lives up to, as good as the book version is. I've yet to see that. I wouldn't say he looks exactly like how I've pictured him to look like, nor with the accent, although he is an alien. He's a chiss, so of course it is a different species, but not quite. I'm trying to find a picture that I represent him more as. Not quite this built. It's how I remember him from the books, but yeah, certainly an S. He is fantastic.
Cool. Ray Ricks, 5 pounds, number 6, The Prisoner.
Take it away, Stuart.
Never seen it.
Take it away, fandom. What do you think? Oh dear. I mean, classic, but I know nothing about it. Oh, this is the one where they're thrown at iron together and they can't leave because secret dodgy things, and they're all, I think they're all drugged up every night or something. And my dad likes it. I'm so sorry.
You know more about it than I do, so.
Well, I think I do. I'm assuming half that's wrong, so I got to go with a D because we just don't know. Happen to have not seen it. We are so sorry.
Yes. So we're in B. Oh, we should have the other chart up with not applicable. Yes. We have another. Oh well, that's okay.
And Hydron, thank you for the first super chat. Appreciate it. Welcome to the family.
I don't know if I would trust that anymore. YouTube doesn't quite know what's going on.
Well, I was trying to be nice.
I know.
Fair.
But I've stopped doing that because the one time we had 3. Congratulate them on their 3rd super chat.
Dan Ben, your first super chat again. Dan Ben, your first super chat again. Dan Ben, no, you've done it before.
Thirst Contact, member for 49 months. The Rick Commander says, Kremzik. That's a Transformers deep cut, if I recall correctly. Yes, you do. Kremzik, more feared than Megatron. Oh, indeed. Tristan Goodfellow, 10 pounds. Mulder and Scully in S, please.
Hey. Icons for a reason. This is a fun discussion, guys. It's just so fun, just change your brain state. Radically different shows. Like, how the hell do you compare? Super interesting.
SVS Guru 2000, 5 euros. Gene Rasczak from Starship Troopers.
Didn't know his name was Gene.
I didn't either.
I really want to meet Michael Ironside.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He cancelled a country I was going to go to, so I'm a bit mildly annoyed at that. What do you think, Stuart?
He is the typical Army General Drill Sergeant guy. Lost an arm in the service of his duty, and then dies at the spoilers. But he's a hard ass, and he's got the scars on his face to prove it. He's also very good motivationally for the guys. He's like, "Who are you in here with?" And it's Tizzy, and he's like, another few minutes, we'll be fine. Like, I love that he can do that. He's got that hard edge. Somebody you want to follow into battle for sure. And he's also quite motivational. Even when he was a teacher, talking about how to become a citizen. I just love the way he dealt with the students. Not mean, but definitely somebody you want to listen to.
Not nice, though.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
You were both on very well, Stuart.
Exactly. Michael Ironsides always does great work. And this is a great character. So, yeah.
Yeah, it helps a lot that he was a teacher, as you say in the first scene, because that is, well, it's a totalitarian dystopian world, so everything through that lens. But you see that peaceful gruff. That's just who he is. And then it's radically pushed forward to be the tactician, the military leader. He's very. I mean, this is the perfect casting in such a weird role, and he commits fully. You can feel he's just giving it everything. It's not the most deep character, but boy, memorable. Like you said, so many small moments. The death, insanity. I mean, that movie is memorable in every way, pretty much. It's really good. So it's one of the examples of he elevates the material, and probably every male on this list could play this role fine. Some could play it extra well, and he brings something to this role that's extra, right?
That voice, his voice is very memorable as well. It's that gruff.
But like I say, it's he can play the mean and happy grump and gruff.
Yes,
he does. But that you need that dichotomy. So he's again small amount of screen time, but excels at it. Where's your gut? Because I want to hear your thought on gut.
I want to give him an A, honestly, for that role, because it was a fine line between being a hard-ass drill sergeant and yet being also a compassionate leader. I think he's memorable enough in that role that I would consider an A.
Because I find myself comparing him to Tommy Lee Jones from Men in Black. Who, obviously you're saying A, so you like him better than Men in Black chap.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they're quite similar-ish. Why does he win over Tommy Lee Jones, do you think?
Because Tommy Lee Jones got a lot more screen time, and I think that hurt the character.
Okay. Yeah.
This,
that's true.
This guy, I just love the way, like, the whole package of that movie, his character is great. Yeah,
because I was thinking of the first
Agent K is a little too much of a kind of an asshole. Like, I love the asshole characters, I really do. This guy's got the compassion on top of it that I think elevates him to
that's a really
somebody
good point.
I definitely want his respect and want to listen to him, but I also want to have a beer with them. Agent K, not so much.
No, that's a really fair point. Yeah, he's that. He was played as that one-off. I'm not going to be in the second film because the end of the film is my end. This guy, Ironside, you don't want him to die, and even after he dies, like, God damn it. He was a good. I will agree with you an A. I would say a low A because he didn't have screen time, but I think performance and character, I think he. Yeah, I will agree with you just.
I like him better than Johnny Rico, so.
Yes. Well, he's a more interesting character, but I could watch the other guy more because he had 4 times the screen time.
Yeah, but at the end, when Rico's like, "You want to live forever?" and he does the same thing, it just doesn't have the punch behind it.
Well, no, because he's also a person. He's not just a totalitarian war machine. This guy rose to the occasion and gave everything to be the totalitarian war machine. But yeah, we'll go away. I think that's a bold choice, but he does so well in the role. Yeah. Good shout. Yeah, I want to. Yeah, Starship Trooper would be phenomenal.
I guess I gotta make this a bit. I gotta make a large picture of this because we don't have one here.
What?
Paste.
Oh. Yes, right there.
Right.
Right to the side. There it was.
Oh, it was too far over. Didn't scroll.
Oh, babe.
That's why I want you to butt them up against
fair,
things. So
fair,
I don't
just
have to be moving all around. All right, well, we'll get rid of that one then. Setahedron, $5. Harry Selton Foundation. Fantastic actor, by the way. This guy's in The Expanse as well. I've only watched the first few episodes of Foundation, and then I never finished it for one reason or another. But yeah, I think he was, from what I remember, a great character. I just don't know where to place him in the list based on what I've seen of him. Sorry.
Yeah, and I've never got around to seeing that show. I've seen one VFX breakdown of it, which looked good. Sorry, that's all my knowledge. I don't know how big this guy's range is. I feel like he plays similar toned characters. Always good, but like in the same spectrum of the same character.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to live with his Joe. I can't comment on it really.
I'm gonna put him at least C.
Okay.
Probably deserves more, but like I said, I haven't watched enough of it to.
Oh, you took it. Fine.
Give you that. Marco, $5. Jack O'Neill, 2 L's to S. He's a heart and soul of SG-1. If the other members of SG-1 are already there, he should be in a tier of his own. There's a reason we put him in A, but okay, we will move him up.
You guys are the guys. We are S-ing it up.
Indeed.
Yes.
Thirst Contact, $5. I read the Starship Troopers book and Rasczak and the movie combine 2 characters. Yes, that's a lot of times when they bring a book to the screen, they do that. So that's fair.
Is he better than the 2 separate? I mean, he's such a distinct character. But I guess also the performance, right? He made it so good. And the direction, I mean, it's a good director can just do wonders, you know? That's why you want to work with main directors to kind of see.
Marco, $5. I think I misunderstood $5 super chat to choose a character with moving a character. There's another 5 for Jack on the outside. No. It was $5 to move a material. You didn't have to send us another $5.
No, he also wants to put in Jack from the movie with it. Wanna?
Oh.
He wants to do both. He wanted to do both.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he did both and wanted to do both. So there we go.
Okay.
Which I'm glad people are doing, because I like that of having the alternate versions, the original, the OG.
Yeah, this guy's... I don't like this guy at all.
Oh, fair.
Different character than Jack O'Neill, 2 L's for sure.
Well, he's far more... You understand him, right? He's a clear-cut military guy that's on a suicide mission. There you go. The performance is so solid that you're with it, but I don't necessarily mind if he dies at the end. Like, in a sense of, like, that's his purpose, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, he's not likable, but that being said, his son just died, so...
He's not trying to be. He's not trying to be unlikable, but he's not trying to be likable. He's actually kind of a rare thing of, I don't give a shit, but I'll still do my mission. I mean, you'd want him leading a team, but he's definitely more of a shooter guy. But of course, the sci-fi was entirely absent from his personality until the movie, and then the TV show Jack had sci-fi inbuilt. So, performance, I still think is a darn solid performance, but there's not that much interesting within it. I'll go a very high C, or a medium C, in fact.
Yeah, I was thinking just C.
Yeah, there's a lot of variety in C. I mean, there's so much.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan. Like, I love Kurt Russell, but I just don't like that movie necessarily, nor that actor.
Yeah,
nor that role.
You missed SBS Guru's €5. Battlefield Earth.
Oh shit! Okay.
It's okay.
Well, SBS Guru, $5. Turl from Battlefield. Oh my god, this is like a cartoon caricature brought to life. This is an awful movie, by the way. I think a lot of people already know that.
But he's a good actor. How could he be in such a bad movie?
He is. Because Mormons.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
I don't know. It's
good look, though. It's cool. It's like it looks like the Wizard of Oz tiger. Or lion.
Yes. He's having fun in the role, for sure.
Well, that's good.
Maniacal kind of... I mean, he's a villain that's actually kind of terrifying because he's unhinged. So, who knows what he's going to do. I don't know. I just thought...
Play some Stuart. I've not seen it, but I do want to see it at some point, Battlefield Earth. I'm excited.
Put him at a B.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. There we go,
Even though it's
guys.
a bad movie, and he's doing the best he can, I think, with what he's given, and he's also very memorable. So at least a B.
Even I knew him.
Yeah.
And Marco says, "No, I didn't want the film version. Lol, just the show version. I just thought it was $10. Well, you got a bonus one there.
Indeed. All right, not a bad account. $2. Trekyards fan originals are an S tier sci-fi show.
Thank you. We try.
Ray Ricks, £5. Patrick McGowan's portrayal of Number 6 in The Prisoner is iconic and classic British sci-fi. A D hurts my soul. Raise that to a C at least. Okay.
We encourage you to prove us wrong with your knowledge.
Yeah. All right. Well. Not a bad account. $5. Captain Stuart Foley for A tier sci-fi show character. Nope.
Well, I think at the very least we now have to raise ourselves to a D because several super chats would be nice to us. So.
Okay, that's fair.
We have been raised. Thank you, everybody. We have been raised. We appreciate the love.
Even though our show's not really sci-fi, it's a documentary style show. So.
Yes.
Anyway, that's fine. SCI-FI Guru 2000, €5. Reagan Ridley from Inside Job.
which I have not seen nor heard of.
Neither have I.
Ah.
But this is her, I guess.
I mean, I like the hasn't slept look. Tells you a lot about the character by itself.
Yeah.
Do you want to Google the show briefly while I just do something with this thing?
Not really, but I will.
Just for the audience. This is a very fascinating list, guys. I'm enjoying this.
Inside Job show.
And there's still more Star Wars ones you guys could include.
Workplace comedy set in a world where many conspiracy theories are real.
Oh.
It's centered on an American shadow government organization, Cognito Incorporated, which is one of 6 organizations that controls the world. The others being the Illuminati, the Atlanteans, the Reptoids, the Catholic Church, and the Juggalos. I love the Juggalo reference. It's an ICP thing. The series follows the team led by a tech genius and her new partner as they work in the organization alongside reptilian shapeshifters, a humanoid dolphin hybrid, and a sapient mushroom from Hollow Earth.
I mean, sounds pretty great, I'll be honest.
It does sound pretty great.
You're kind of selling me on the premise. How many seasons or episodes? Because where the hell do you go from there, right? As a concept, it's already quite a fully fleshed out concept.
Looks like it's got 1 season with 18 episodes.
Right. It's kind of like a Netflix. It sounds great. I mean, I feel like that should get a D just because we like the premise sounding.
It's one I want to check out now, just reading that.
Yeah. Thoroughly
D.
fascinating. As I move so people to a bit more space. There's a lot of great characters, turns out. Right, do you want to jump in one of our pre-established ones while I continue this?
Oh, sure, why not?
Some pretty interesting ones in there. Ah.
Focus sleeps. Hold on a second. Move all this shit to the back. Alright. C-3PO. Neurotic droid who is afraid of everything and what's protocol droid? And to be fair, C-3PO has been in like everything and all done by Anthony Daniels, so great companion to R2-D2. The two play off each other very well. Kind of like a Abbott and Costello type vibe with them. And I don't know. I think it was cool when we got evil C-3PO for a hot second with the Sith thing, and then he forgot his until he got a recent upload. Like, you knew that was happening.
Classic J.J. Abrams bullshit.
Yeah. But no, him and his interactions with Han Solo, I love how Han Solo kind of tolerates him at best. I don't know. C-3PO is great. Just not at the same time.
Yeah, he's iconic for what he does, but he doesn't do a lot. It's kind of like Chewbacca, right? Like, he's got his niche, what he's built for, and he suits it well.
He's just stumbling through Star Wars is basically what it is.
Yeah. But certainly, yeah, having him be all the time as Anthony is always lovely to hear, because, I mean, easiest paycheck he's ever done. I'm sure he gets a rake in a lot, because, like, he's the only one.
Yeah.
I mean, I would certainly, I would like to see more. Like, if they'd get this, it might sound silly, but give him a Disney Plus miniseries to do something actually in character. You know what I mean? Like beyond the scope of the shows and movies. Like, do something self-led, so I could learn a bit more about how he would approach certain unusual situations. I would actually be up for that as a concept.
Yeah, I think they ruined his character though with having Anakin build him. I thought that was incredibly stupid, and I don't think the effect for him walking worked very well. And prior to that, there was like he's 150 years old or something like that. Him and R2 have been around for a long time. Unfortunately, he's the one that keeps getting the memory wipes. R2 keeps avoiding them, so R2 remembers everything, and C-3PO gets his memory wiped quite often.
He does talk a lot more, so he will spill the beans. See, my gut, I'm so in between a C and a B, because while iconic, what do you think?
Like I said, he stumbles his way through. He's kind of like a background character in every scene he's in, even when he's just him and R2. R2 kind of takes center stage, unfortunately.
Well, that's the thing, because in Star Wars, they're all a coalition of great characters, but when you start comparing to other characters, like, oh, is that it? I mean, I feel like you gotta go B for icon value, and we did in part 1 the legacy value of Will They Be Remembered in the Future came up, and he will outlive almost everybody in this list, right?
Yeah.
So I think you gotta go B for pure legacy and respect wise, because he's gonna be. I mean, not many people had Terminator lunchboxes, but millions and millions and millions had C-3PO lunchboxes. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
3PO, everyone.
Someone could put it in there.
All right. Cur Avon. Oh, sorry. Yes. Seti Hedron, $5. Cur Avon from Blake 7, the GOAT. So I guess the greatest of all time, so I guess he automatically gets an S.
Oh, damn. Well, that's easy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's the main guy from Blake 7. I know people love him as a character and such. I know Dad loves the show. I haven't seen the show, though, unfortunately. I know he's also a well-known English actor as well. I mean, he's the lead of that show, so I feel like you could at least give him a C. But I think probably deserves a low B gut reaction, because especially
I'm fine with B if he's the lead of the show. Yeah, I've never really watched Blake 7.
Because I know obviously in those days the story and character had to really sing, and that's what Blake 7 did. So, same with the villain, the actual villain. My gut says go with a B for that. Just I believe that's what would be had we seen it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
That's all of that metric is. That's all I've got to go on there.
No, it's good argument for sure. So we'll throw him in B.
And there's a lot of torturedness in that character because prisoner and such.
Yeah. Thirst Contact, $2. Scientology, not Mormons. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Scientologists. Anyway, moving on. Hit that like button, guys. 43 likes, which is great, but I'd like to get up to 50, which is another 7 likes. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so. Also, make sure you go vote in the poll because it's... let's see. Of course, it's closed, and it's... There we go. 36 votes.
Okay.
And there's a clear leader right now with X-Files.
Ooh.
So... yeah, go vote in the poll. Let's try to get up to 50 votes at least.
So I bet it's also a generational thing. As in, like...
That was just a great show, too, so...
Well, sure, but how many people have gone back to watch it who hadn't watched it at the time? Not a problem, but that's a lot of shows, right? Which is the sad thing about old sitcoms, right? Whoever is ever going to watch those things again... Not because they were bad, but... Alright, I've got to go to the little spaceman's room. I'll be back in a moment. Let's see who is... Yep, we've got some great ones coming already. Cool. Well, welcome, Toad.
Alright, guys, I'll just hang out with you guys. Thank you for being here, by the way. Hopefully you're enjoying the conversation. Sorry about the ones in D that we don't quite know about, but it's just the way the ball bounces sometimes. So... don't feel discouraged. Wesley, I like the way you think. Love to see us do a podcast from the studio, the bridge of the Enterprise D, with vodka shots and the surrounding bridge. Is that universal? Have to be careful with the carpets, though. No spills. Yeah. You'll build a replica that'd be awesome. But yeah. Yeah, keep the ideas and the characters coming. This is a good discussion. Most of the time. I just hate when I don't have much to say about a character. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm just not in the headspace to do it. Space Precinct. Heard of that, never seen it. But yeah. All right, let's pull in another one that we had set aside. All these have to be set to the back. Send back. Pull in the Xenomorph. There we go. All right, so the Xenomorph, the alien himself, the title character from the movie Alien. Terrifying Xenomorph man. Very iconic. H.R. Geiger did interesting work with this one. And it's creepy as hell. So, again, if this is just the character from the first one, bravo. I mean, there's a lot more of them, obviously, in the second one, and then there's so many other movies. But honestly, iconic-wise, this has got to be an S, just right off the hop, just for its staying power and its intimidation factor. So.
And do you remember the first time you saw an Alien film and the impact this had?
No. I don't.
Because you were obviously alive and around when they.
I hope so.
Yeah, unless you were lying to me about your age. Yeah, I mean, this is it. I put this in as a mild joke because a character, it's not a character, even though it is a character. Definitionally, it's a creature, but it's so freaking iconic. I mean, Predator, of course, actually is more of a character, really, if you think about it. There's motivation behind it. But yeah, this character, this design, this alien is, well, there's the irony. He's called the Alien. If you say, we're going to watch an Alien film, you're not thinking aliens, you're going to think him. That's a hell of a brand recognition value, the word alien. So yeah, I mean, top S. And it's funny, I will happily watch, as in give it at least a go, right? Any Alien film, because I like the design and the mythos so much, the life cycle and how you can approach that even if he's just another, in essence, 80s horror, oh no, he'll get you, run, run, run. Like, you can frame that narrative in so many interesting ways. I will happily watch more of that. So yeah, I mean, a definitive Alien.
Yeah, definitely S tier.
Yeah.
Just for its iconicness.
Yeah, I mean, it's so iconic it inspired the Gorn.
Oh, good God. Wash your filthy mouth out.
Yeah.
I'm afraid for Jack O'Neill. 2 L's up there. He's gonna get eaten by a little mouth. Oh, anyway, sorry, moving on. SPS Guru 2005 euros. Harry Vanderspiegel from Resident Alien.
I have not seen the show, but I really want to watch this show.
I've seen a lot of clips of this show, and yeah, there was no place that was streaming that we could watch it, unfortunately, when we were interested. So now I think it's available, and I definitely want to check it out. But from what I've seen, top-notch stuff.
That's why I put this picture, because it's funny.
Yes. So, yeah, he's an alien that comes to Earth, and he's kind of undercover as a veterinarian, which is kind of funny. And actually, here's some advice for you. If you ever find yourself on an alien planet and you're injured, look for a veterinarian, not a doctor. Because veterinarians are used to working with a bunch of different species of animals, so they'd be much better suited to help you than a doctor.
My third spleen and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm sure this character is like A tier at least, but I haven't seen the show in its entirety. But from the clips I've seen, I really want to see it. So.
Yeah, I've seen all the trailers, as daft as that sounds, so I'm intrigued by it. I mean, he's a really good performer, because I think he's kind of more than an actor, because he's done so many odd, different performances, and he's a prolific voice actor without really knowing he is, because he can do so much with his voice. He did one of those, like, variety, name the quotes from your different movies, and I've seen, obviously, him as Wash from Firefly, and that's where I know him from, and it's like, oh, he did that. He did that, and then he
K2SO.
Yeah, well, yeah, K2SO. He was the iRobot guy, Robot and iRobot, which obviously is a A-list Will Smith film. And it's like, it is the same voice, but he can do so much with it that it's like, damn. And there's a very different performances, and this is his show. I know they got greenlit for another season recently-ish, but it was slightly in question because I think they might have been moved to a different studio because someone didn't want to pay for it and whatever. So I'll go for a solid B on this because I know he'll be good. But we haven't seen the show, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think A is fair because it's too...
Well, I said B, but...
Oh, you said B?
Because we haven't seen the show, so I think it was daft to give it to a thing we haven't seen.
Okay. That's fair.
I mean, it's very high for a thing we haven't seen, but I'm pretty confident he'd be very good.
Doodly doodly. All right, 46 likes. We're almost at that 50, guys. If you're one of those people that haven't hit like yet, please do so. 4 likes would be awesome. Ray Ricks back in with another £5. Bill Adama, BSG 2004.
Do they say his first name in the original version?
I have no idea.
Because he wasn't Bill. I'm sure of that. I think it was Admiral Adama. I can jump first on this one. Yeah, sure. I mean, Edward James Olmos, I mean, the level of quiet charisma this man exudes is amazing. Going from the show where he's the depth of drunken depression, there's a point where he is, and then he pulls himself up from that, and he has to be a hero, and he has to be flawed, and he has to be given up, he has to be in love, and he has to be a father, he has to be he has to get shot and recover from that, and forgive his shooter, who he loves but doesn't. I mean, great part, and funnily enough, he is the single reason that BSG has no aliens, because he told them, I'll be in the show, but there ain't anybody in makeup. That's why it's a heavily grounded show. I mean, they get away with that bit with the sounds of robots, but he made the universe devoid of life, this one actor who demanded. Would have been different had they had aliens, of course. But really good performance. He is one of the best, I think, Admiral performances. Like, because beyond the captain, he commands the fleet. Like that, you sense that weight on him, that detachedness, while still has to be like, there's only 10,000 of us left. If you don't like me as a person, we could also be screwed. So it's an interesting dichotomy, while never breaking from that. And just, really good in the role. And it's funny, he had like really short greying hair in the pilot because he was like military, and then it went to the softer stars that went on. So they wanted that dramatic.
Mark Lawrence, he's an uncle of one of my friends, so I'm biased. Ooh.
I mean, you've met him in a social setting? Nice.
Cool. Yeah, a very multi-layered character. Much more so than the original Adama. Although Lauren Green was great, but like in a very stoic way. This one has a lot of weaknesses, a lot of cracks, and he doesn't necessarily show them when he's in command, but we get a peek behind the curtain a little bit, and there's a lot going on with this character. He has to deal with a lot, and I think it's friggin' great the way they made that character arc, because there were times where he was on the edge of like just giving up and kind of losing it, but he held it together and he did what was needed. And I think that last scene is a real gut punch, having gone through everything, and then she passes away beside him as they're like that. Just one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best well-written characters in sci-fi, just because of the complexity of what we see him go through. Because, he's thrust into a position that he didn't necessarily want to be in. I mean, nobody would. but
he's a museum curator, ostensibly, and then the leader of the everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely S tier character.
And
so
yes, fun. Games. Obviously, I've probably played more than Stu has, but yeah, throw in some games if you'd like. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I would also agree. S. I think he epitomizes. He is on the same level of acting as Jack O'Neill, as many people in S for pure performance. Now it's funny. You throw this exact character in a non-sci-fi, he'd be the same. The sci-fi almost has no effect on it. But it's the fact that he deals with this heightened level of reality that becomes science fiction makes it more like, yeah, of course I can have nukes fired from 15 ships around me and I can teleport away, and you know when he breaks the back of a ship and stuff, it's really like, oh, loads of moments.
Yeah.
Loads of moments. And I'm very pleased I met the man a few years after the show, but not super long, luckily. And I was very, very pleased to meet him.
All right, we have 48 likes. We're creeping towards that 50, guys. So if you're one of those people that haven't hit like yet, please do so. I'd like to get to 50 likes.
It's so easy.
Barely an inconvenience. We only have 39 votes on the poll, which I think we could do better than that. I'd like to get up to 50 if we can for that as well. So go vote on the poll if you haven't. SVS grew 2,005 euros. If games count GLaDOS from Portal.
What they do. Now Portal's a social zeitgeist, so what do you know about this character that's meandered to you through the airwaves of just Portal?
All I know is that I think the character is super sarcastic. That's about all I know about the character.
Okay, and if I said to you the cake is a lie?
That rings a bell.
With the big giant meme. So I haven't actually played the game because I was too dumb to play Portal, or not the patience, because there's so a lot of them matter of fact, obvious puzzles that my brain didn't want to connect with them. So I watched a watch through of the second one. The entire game is a movie, and it was excellent. So she's the robot that was built. I say this as if I'm an expert. I'm really not. To control this facility. But then obviously time passes, the world goes to Bluey and she's still there, and she lives for testing, and it's a sick pleasure of you must do the next Portal test, and then as the game devolves out of that, she then becomes the villain, and then she becomes a potato for a bit. So you get to know her through the potato, and then be at the end. And in the first game she says if you complete all the tests you get a cake, but then you get to that point and then there is no cake, therefore the cake is a lie. But then in the credits, you see a back room with a slice of cake, so maybe she wasn't lying. There was still cake somewhere. It's confusing. No, GLaDOS, excellent character. She's very well written, very entertaining as a performance, and ostensibly just a voice-over character. Really, really good. I would go for a B, because she gets a ton of dialogue. It's very, very good. A lot of funny things. Right up there. Right up there in B. Oh. Next turn, Tudyk smiling. Madness. Can't hear you, Stuart.
Classic for real, $5. Phoebe from Thundermans. Don't watch this shit, so I have no idea.
Yeah, that famous show Thundermans. A 4-season sitcom.
It's like a Nickelodeon type.
There's a spin-off being made apparently now. Well, that's exciting.
We'll just give it a D because I don't know anything about it.
I mean, she's cute. I'll give her that. So, that makes the joke even stupider. Don't want it. 90 episodes though. That's a lot.
Nice. Yeah.
So
definitely cute, but it has like a CW Nickelodeon kind of vibe to it.
Made of the Nickelodeon, yes. So super family, I'm assuming. I mean, decent super suit. Yeah, I mean, go with a. Put her next to me. I'll be okay with that.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Oh. Does that mean is that a show you watched when you were a kid, Classifier then?
No, I think that's on now, isn't it?
No, it finished in 2018. So.
Oh, like so yesterday, because that's not long ago. Well, we hit 50 likes.
2013 to 2018.
Hit 50 likes. Thank you, guys. And we only have 42 votes on the poll, so we need another 8 votes to get a good number for the poll results.
Did go high though, which I appreciate. Now we need more. All right, so let's look at back to one of our pre-done ones. Wait, there are a couple of iconic ones. Where are we at on that? Yeah. Banana
Yoda?
Man.
Yeah.
Ooh. And Tudyk and Adama are like, hello there.
This is why I hate Google Slides.
Well, I did put him in there last week. Yeah, Yoda. Now, Yoda is... This, obviously, I'm summarising, but I picked a prequel Yoda. Very differing character throughout the eras, of course. And I think we've had this discussion before, but it's hard to kind of rectify the amount of stupid that Yoda pretends to be for as long as he is. Knowing exactly where he came from in Empire. It's a bit too much, you know, for this wise Jedi. But he certainly, I mean, I love seeing him in the prequels. I like seeing him in the Clone Wars, etc. Yeah, vote you must. I could probably watch a Yoda not series, mini-series, you know, like 3 or 4 stories dedicated. I don't know who his race is. I don't need to know. Nope. It's one of those pleasant mysteries, right? But yeah, great speech pattern, great design, great performance, puppet and not puppet. I prefer prequel to sequel. I just find it more interesting, personally. I don't buy that he left where he left because he had to leave because of the sequels or the original trilogy. I'm leaving the fight now. It's like, okay, well, or you could, you know, stay and try and save the guy. No, fuck off then. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
just I had to. Thoughts?
Character that started out being a one-off and then was very much expanded on, including in the Clone Wars and stuff. Yeah, the speech pattern for me, it's funny, it's cute, I guess, but it doesn't make a lot of sense when you realize that he is actually super intelligent. So he would be able to just mimic common speech. Anyway.
Well, but he might choose not to.
Exactly. That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
And also the fact, yes, we don't know where he came from. We don't know his species name. We don't know his planet. That's great. The fact that mystery is still intact. But even though he's been so fleshed out on screen with all of these iterations, being in Clone Wars and Rebels and everything, I don't think was he in Rebels? I don't think he was in Rebels.
No.
Regardless, even though he's had so much screen time, there's still a lot of mystery around him, and I think that's a really hard thing to do without giving into his origin story.
Because it would
which I really thought
they
were gonna fuck that up with the Mandalorian and Grogu. Thank God they didn't.
Yeah.
But no, I think Yoda is definitely. I mean, he's super memorable, super quotable, super iconic. I'm not quite sure I want to put him in S.
Well, make him small again so we can see comparative to S and A. Because yeah, he's super entertaining to watch, but in a very similar way. He has those two notes. Either the first time we saw him, as in real life, or every other time we've seen him, right? There's not much past that. Now we've given Alien from Alien S. So, and Yoda is not as iconic as Alien, because Alien is like the simplest of visual. But I would do more people know Yoda, because Star Wars is pretty damn known. But then you could. But then
Yoda's like Spock. You could show it to anybody, whether they know the franchise or not, and they'd be able to probably get the name.
But the name. But you can watch Star Wars and not see Yoda, as in you can watch New Hope. And you've seen Star Wars or Rebels and whatever. Whereas the Alien, he is the villain of every Alien film, right? You cannot see any property called Alien without seeing the Alien. So of course he is more, in that respect.
Well, if we had a film named Yoda, and then Yoda 2, and then
Yoda Resurrection,
yeah,
Yoda the prison one. Yoda versus Yaddle. Custody of Grogu. That's what it should be called. I want to give this guy an A because I think he is up there with RoboCop, but not quite as much as Alien. And I think the pure depth of performance time for a lot of the S's, I'm gonna say A, but a very high A.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, he makes screen time work, but it's also because he's so interesting in that. But like, so many more hours of McKay, and he's so much more engaging. And also with Yoda, less is more. You know, it would be hard to do an entire movie with him backwards speaking lines dialogue each time. You couldn't really do that practically without it getting a bit annoying to somebody, right?
Mm.
Oh,
That's just your
okay,
2005 euros Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Okay, so now we're getting into games here, and that's not sci-fi. So.
Well, I mean, there are lots of sci-fi games.
Yeah, but it's Metal Gear Solid.
I mean, I guess it's
this
sci-fi.
is opening up a huge battle.
I mean, there are robots in that. I mean, it's certainly not fantasy, and it's not. It's future military drama, which is certainly it's a future at sci-fi.
Okay.
I mean, hey, throw in some Halo characters. I'd love to talk about Halo, or Mass Effect. You know.
It should be a different live stream though, like game characters.
Yeah, but they're less definitive in that if you've not played the game, which is easy to not have done, then we don't know. Like, I've never played Metal Gear Solid. I don't know if you have. I assume you would have because you've got a PlayStation.
I have not.
Oh, even though you're a PlayStation boy, do you just never think to play them, or do you? Because they are of your era.
I just never played them.
Just never played them. I mean, you got to give him a B out of respect because I know he's a very well loved. I mean, he's the guy of the franchise, and the franchise is long lived and well loved. So I mean, you've got to give him a B out of respect. What a weird look.
That's fair.
Yeah. Cool. Oh God, Gorgonzola. Oh, that's cold. I like it though.
You might want to read it so other people know.
Oh, sorry. Trekyards, shame on you, Samuel. Yoda vs. Yaddle isn't a movie for mainstream cinema. That is for the one behind the train station. You have to be 18 and desperate to enter. Yeah, probably. Okay, guys, I think we're gonna call the last set. So we've had a tremendous time. So I think we'll go until 5:30. Is there a final 5 you want us to include? I'd like to get 5 more that are interesting, that you think we know. 5 more will be tremendous. So yeah, think of your 5. Could be from Mass Effect, could be from Star Wars. Maybe some big villains, etc. Yeah. So final 5. Throw some in. And any thoughts when you look at this giant chart of icons across film and TV?
Still a fuck of a lot missing. That's what I'm thinking. Which means we should just keep this up and revisit it from time to time and add on to it.
Yeah. Because this is so interesting to be able to then contrast. Like, you'd think Yoda would be S, and you're like, well, is there any that you want to move? Is there any? While I wait for those final 5.
No, I'm not going to get into that.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think that's fair. If we're going to keep working on it, I don't think that's.
Okay, so wait more until the end, sort of vibe. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wondered if anything jumped out at you.
No.
So I have 2 that jump out at me a little bit, but I can wait on those.
Yeah, nothing's really jumping out at me. Another 5 votes on the poll would be awesome. We have 45 votes right now. Which is the best show? Stargate Atlantis, Firefly, or X-Files? Go put in your 2 cents.
Atlantis, man. Be higher. We love Atlantis. Okay, that's one of our 5. You guys' final pick. What the hell is this?
SPS Guru 2000.
Goodness.
€5. Samuel Hayden from Doom. Well, anybody named Samuel. I mean,
I mean, mad respect to the Samuels and the posse. We never get Samuels in the chat, do we? Ever.
I don't know.
Just occurred to me.
Probably not.
Yeah.
If we did, I'd probably just ignore them anyway. So.
Yeah. And I have our mods assassinate everyone called Stuart because there can be only one.
So is this what you brought in? Is that what this is?
This is Samuel Hayden from Doom. Which I didn't even know Doom had robots, I'll be honest. I thought Doom was all creatures. Welcome, I am Dr. Samuel Hayden. I am the head of this facility. I think we can both work together and resolve this problem in a way that benefits us both. Samuel Hayden was a chairman of the UAC, who oversees the Argent Energy Research Project at the Argent facility. Cool. I mean, looks cool. Give him a solid C for art design.
Sure. Don't know much else to say. I've played a lot of Doom games. I don't remember him at all. So.
Oh, we're using basically the two newer ones, so 2016 and the other one, so the newer ones.
That would be why.
And he was a human as well in earlier games. Apparently, it says that. Cool.
Ray Ricks, £5. Arnold J. Rimmer.
Ooh. Yeah, we haven't. Oh, thank you, Ray. We had no Red Dwarf ones. That's criminal. Cool. So that's 3 of our 5. So if you want to get in this part 2, Rimmer. That's great. And what Rimmer do you pick in the picture department? Let's pick more of a smeg-heady one. Okay. Go on, you goint. Talk about him.
A little bit full of himself for a hologram.
For a dead guy.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. He's great.
You've seen Red Dwarf, what do you mean?
I know I have.
That's so much
a while ago.
Good.
I'm telling you, I don't know what to say about him. He's great. I think Rimmer is fantastic. If you don't know what a smackhead is, you probably are one. That's all I can say. You're more into the lore of it than I am, so.
Yeah, I met Chris Barry a few times. He is not at all like Rimmer, which is great because he's just a nice, gentle guy, and Rimmer is not. Yeah, I mean, Arnold Rimmer, he is a definitive icon of stupidity. It helps he's in excellent scripts and such. He is the man that could never be king. He's a chicken soup repair man. Although proven that had he actually applied himself in school, he was actually talented enough to do amazing things. A la Ace Rimmer, who was absolutely exceptional. I mean, what a guy. But then, I think it was because he didn't take a year back in school. He then became the snivelling little worm he actually is, and that's almost a quote. That's what they say. And in a world where he's on a shitty freighter mining ship, and he is the second lowest rank, and technically the robots are above him technically because they have a better union. And yet he's so watchable. I mean, he's got to be at least an A. Because he's an incredible actor, doing incredible lines, incredible stories. Debatably S, because he has so little relative to some of the other people. But I mean, he's just knocks out of the park in terms of pretty much everything he does. So I would say at least an A. Where would your gut be?
I would have probably S-tiered him, just because
I
think he's iconic.
Yeah, I'm happy with an S. I mean, I mean, those first few seasons are just so good. And he is kind of complicated, but also simple. He's goodness. Yeah.
Right beside Adama.
I don't know what you mean, classic for real. What? Who is that? I don't know what to tell you. I don't remember the movie enough to remember. Classic, please elaborate on anything.
Captain Corky, $5. Dean Winchester from Supernatural. Well, that's just an S tier. I love Dean Winchester. He's quirky. He yells Sam a lot.
Sam!
Sammy. Funny guy. I don't know. There's a lot of seasons of Supernatural, man. Wouldn't say he's a complex character at all. I think Sam Winchester is a lot more complex of a character, but Dean is more of my favorite character, more so than Sam. So I can just relate to him. He's always hungry. I don't know. He likes his pie. Yeah, for me, he's an S tier. He's so iconic and recognizable, and I think Jensen does a fantastic job in anything he does. Honestly, he's a great actor and a nice guy. Plus, they really love those roles, those two. So, yeah, for me, it's an S.
I mean, also definitely not sci-fi, as Lord of the Rings is fantasy, because it's a supernatural fighting show against zombies and not zombies, werewolves. I mean, not sci-fi. I mean, fantasy. Don't they ever do science fiction? I mean, they do Ghostbusters once? I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know if the actor has the most range in the world, but he has a tremendous niche, and he sells it 100%. And the first time I saw him was in Alias, ironically, and he's good in that, but this he's much better at. Yes, not complicated, but he's meant to be. And having seen, I think, 7 seasons of Supernatural, the fact that he does not change is actually one of his greatest strengths, that in this bullshit world that he's been brought into to fight everything, he's pretty much the same guy, just more scarred. Sam, like, he has this giant journey of weirdness, and always Dean is there to just staying where I mean to be. Gruff.
Well, he was the father figure to Sam. He had to take on the role of the father and take care of Sam, and he kind of wanted to maintain that wall of, protector.
I will say an A for character, but I can't go an S because he's not a sci-fi character, and that feels weird. But he's, as a character, I'll give him an A. But yeah.
It's way more sci-fi than 18. Let's put it that way.
Yes, he's not reached F. Well done. Yes, you're very correct on that. Well said. Well said. I believe once Classic Thrill clarifies what he meant by the first Stormtrooper, because I don't remember a first Stormtrooper from that film, and that's R5. So, is there a one in between, or is the next one? No. So read everything out, because that's R5. So thank you very much, guys. Yeah.
So Classic for real, $5. Literally the very first Stormtrooper we see in Rise of Skywalker, which confuses me. And then SVS Guru, €2,005. Mordin Solus, Mass Effect 2, and that'll be the last one.
Yes, when Classic clarifies what he means, because I can't understand.
What we will be coming back and revisiting this.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
next week probably.
Fine. While we do this, if anyone's throwing another 5 for the next time, we'll line them up. That's fine. Nice to have some in the buffer. So if anyone wants to throw in a couple, that's fine. I'm not sure Stuart has all the much to say about Morden.
Nothing.
Yeah, Morden. I mean, excellent character. Mass Effect 2 is a phenomenal game. It is the best out of the 3, for all the reasons, honestly. Yeah, he's a Terrarian, if I recall. He's a very clever scientist. He sings that song that Number 1 does. Animal Mineral, and it's a joke scene, but not. It's clever. And in the games, his race are like the bioengineers of the universe. Of the universe that we see.
The progenitors?
No, but there are other... That's a whole thing. And his race sterilized another race that's also heroes in the game, and that's a whole moral question, and he's a big part of that. And because they can die in the story, some people lost him, and it's very sad, and some people kept him, and it's fun. Very nuanced, very careful, very interesting. Certainly one of those memorable, a very memorable cast. I would give him a medium A, because he's a very well written character, and he has a lot of time because he's one of your primary people. Yeah, and because he's a video game character, he can do a lot more than a TV character in the sense of he can do giant space battles and giant all these big things that budget would suck for. And because he's an alien, he has unique things. Yeah.
Very first stormtrooper to use the jetpack.
Oh, okay. So
they could fly now, apparently.
Wait, what'd you say? They're flying now?
They fly now.
Who's flying now? They are? Ooh. So,
Jock the stormtrooper.
Oh, but Bill
He's
wants,
French.
But Bill wants the first jetpack scene. Oh, I mean, there is this screen cap, which is that really the first time we see stormtroopers in the film? Oh. Okay, Jock the stormtrooper it is. So Stuart, what do you think of Jock the stormtrooper, the fly now guy?
I guess he's memorable.
I mean,
for the jetpack thing, but
one of the stupidest scenes of that movie, and that's saying something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why did the producers not realize that Star Wars takes place over like 30 years, that people are all still alive, so people remember the clones with jetpacks.
Yeah,
because that was the army that fought, and was in the news and was hollows and for years, and then because that existed for decades, I'm sure other people had jetpacks too. Like Jango Fett wasn't a big thing. Jetpack it was just a thing. So you know what? They fly now. I'm gonna give They Fly Now a C. Because it's funnier to put it at C than D. Because D is embarrassing.
Yeah.
They Fly Now is a proud thing.
I was going to say D, but I like your train of thought there.
Yeah.
Or your jetpack of thought there.
Yeah. He flew into our hearts.
Yeah.
Fantastic Phil, it's not though. There's no aliens or technology. There's neither science.
Yeah, but he also says we have a kids show and a stoner cartoon up there, so we can have Supernatural, which I agree with.
Yeah, you've made us talk about it, but it doesn't mean it's sci-fi. But he's such a good character. He beat the odds. Which is, you can do that. Wow, Stuart, that is a very cool list of people. Wow.
It is, and yet there's so many other characters that immediately pop into my mind.
Yeah, only one Farscape character. We're missing over half the cast of Firefly. All the other cast from Terminator.
Movies like The Fifth Element and Galaxy Quest and so many others that we can explore later. The Matrix.
Yeah, wow, you're
right. What about Darth Vader, everybody?
Oh god. Yeah.
Maybe next time.
We're
not accepting any more this time, just so you know. We got 49 votes on our poll.
Oh yeah. Oh, Devilish Man, yeah, that's a fun one. Total Recall, yep. Lot of good movies and TV, absolutely.
Anyway, 49 votes on our poll. Which is the best show?
Okay.
The winner is X-Files with 51%.
Wow.
Second place, Stargate Atlantis with 29%.
Good, yep.
And Firefly brings up the rear with 20%.
Wow.
Interesting.
I like it. That's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, Marvel. That's Iron Man. Yeah, there are so many. I mean, obviously we've got Peter Quill, but yeah, I mean Thor, Loki, Iron Man. There's a lot of characters you guys could throw at us. Wow, yeah. Mm-hmm. We could have like 4 different Sam Jacksons on here, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, have we got any actor clones up here yet?
Actor clones?
Yeah, same actor, different role. Like I say, like 3 different Sam Jacksons could be on there for different sci-fi, right? I don't think we do, actually.
No, we got Dwight Schultz as Murdoch, Mad Murdoch, but not as Barclay.
But of course, that's Star Trek.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Yeah, but there's no... Because, Arnie could be multiple, Predator guy, etc. Huh. The only one that would have been would be if Alan Tudyk was Wash as well as Resident Alien. That's the one that could have made it. Huh. That's fun.
Yeah. All right, guys. thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
This has been a great discussion. We will be, of course, revisiting this at some point because there are more to add to this, obviously.
Yeah, and the discussion gets harder. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
To like subdivide. Yeah.
And some days my brain just isn't in a good communicative mood.
Stuart, this was 2.5 hours of that, so we did a good job for all of you, and you guys did an amazing job to have a really interesting debate here. At some point, I want to do similar to this, but different, like top villains, because this is not. There's a different clarifications, right? Like, how do you judge villainy versus character? You know, I want to at that point some fan villains and maybe even fan heroes, because you know, I think characters into a hero. It's more general, like the heroic nature of Luke Skywalker, for example, will beat the heroic nature of, you know what I mean?
We need to do a robots one, droids and robots.
Ooh,
there'd be not a lot, but there'd be enough. To...
Oh yeah. Okay, not a single Doctor Who. Anyway, or Doctor Who character.
Oh, there's a character. There's the Master there.
Not a single good guy character from the Doctor Who. Thanks, Jim. Thank you. Good point. But yeah, we've got one Red Dwarf and one Doctor Who. Finally. Good.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Tune in. We'll have a live tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're doing yet. It'll be an AI story or something.
Yeah. And guys, do you come to those AI stories? Like, I know obviously and what's great about those is that the AI knows all these characters. So, you know, everyone who's put in super chats today, if you come in tomorrow, so do AI story, you can throw in, you know, $5 and then C-3PO phase in from reality saying, come with me if you want to live, right? And that could trigger a really cool side arc. So those are worth doing because you can make really interesting things happen constructively. It's really, really worth being part of those because they are so much fun.
They are.
So consider that if you see that this week.
So anyway, until next time you see us, whenever that is, he's Commander Cockins.
He's Foley.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.